Sudan Augustine Lemkol Osban Loda Rai Emorimor lo ateker na Iteso teker ido ibala bonebe Iteso lo Kenya, Iteso lo Sudan, Iteso lo South Sudan, Iteso lo Ethiopia, Iteso lo Justo Maboyso no Gelegela like wana kon park. Tomo studios ne Jessica Pejoko lelo mtosa laijo toma South Sudan. Jengo kireja kaiti engineer Julius Epiat. Ijaeja kaiti Etiang Peter Odir Busia Kenya, Iteso Cultural Union. Wasodikini eja kaiti Adungo Fred Lode Lomuta laijo toma Teso Kenya. Jengo kedeja kaiti Odeke Loda Renges de Diope Thomas Wam ibala bonebe somaitoma radio loka Emuria alajo toma kwapno Kenya ido kede Moses Ochole our senior political analyst Dutch Aimora program ane otomo kwam adautwalo muntu matogo so mambo bongoda kutangara pakna angari bobai chanchana chie akutanga ijaun customers o studios ne abala bonebe lwa polo kyo galomon kwenyedo kwape ijaro nage onoko program koto ujentitu wakwapa ngnabe lubanga iteni otomo porotoi atichapake buchita kirora nenchie patanikindo kwa najai tetenar ebe kwa ngeni ngesejani so let me akuna nage unkereja kaiti engineer Julius Epiat ebe yoga dolun tomo program yala manyu
bo ataker jeni be jono kwamin ne kopani ne akalo biana na lomoni ay nyamakin papa la Twan Augustine Osban Lemkol awota ra kota limuni be kwape ra kirosina Twanara na ja kisibo kitlo loni ne
yebo
gudo be ranga lepi mala dakana are lilinga tabere lipa kisi moyo ala Twan doko nyetoni aloite akonye
yala manoi
yala manoi
yala
joli jawni ni utailip otomo kiroria iworoni jengo engineer Julius Epiat otomo South Sudan jena kwapebe Lopiat Alomunito originale Otororo Manafa Nisna uri kinterengo Polonto Uganda Ido akawalo na lomare Some business South Sudan Olomunare ringu Na jaune raseo Nenga ngari noko Lepolo kintosi nono lo attacker Aponi oseku na engo Omamle itepegit Kwa peleo Eboy kiti South Sudan keda South Ethiopia ido ngar na nepanin ngare nikitengo okoteker na ne jasi kauke lu o kiroria lu itoposan ngesa teker ne lalange na depart i tama ya irwani kini keda Iteso le ja Uganda generally atiche pak ipuarus ku ya depun lo ni lu ja Uganda
okay
udumuni jo atekere okona ijie ngunisli yare nikitosi otama ipues udumuni jo ngulule bakae nyama tong udumuni jo be nyanga tong kesilu ni kintosi ya kesi timule dite South Sudan konye timule polo ngisle jai Southern Ethiopia nekolo alomna papa lo la goni akoteker
yalama
idumuni jobe otoman lo la parana ipune beitengo aita chaki na tekere no na attacker na Iteso ara in general be attacker community
okay yalama noi sudenga lo sineja papa lailo be yoga papa alomuntomo program
noi Hata kerana Iteso elama no jautumo radio lo voice of Iteso emo akadal mokriteni rango Peter Etiang Odir lo busitema Busia Uganda so alakara noi ajautle a radio na lolo ne konye akotoba ngalo Iteso yasbiya ya godmoy elami kitongo Iteso lo apoto botu biane anyama kene papa abu pore to tunosi upona le polo noi anyamagini papa to no pone lo kai business
yala masoda jo hello muntomo program yes yala manoi yo galo muntomo program
boy alama noi ya on short mo program awatona shaune be alamikini voice of teso kanuka dia on short lolo aparana lolo tolo mo short mo program lo jorito nikana chana toni akana chana kosi betoma radio lopelo balongo Iteso kere na mejaso si yoga song aja shone shaun kolongoe kanuka nyamakin papa labu nyekoni gogwa idiani lolo buto show akimorone ni pe atupa ka kirokon keinono ko kirore nyatongo adungo Frederick arange mogolat alom Teso Kenya asokonyongo lopela goekiti Teso ko Kenya kere puite soko Kenya doto bale milione pe katutubet kona asokonye lopa kidumnuo ko kesi ko boda Malaba, Busia, Kenya, ikunyete konye paka Eldoret, Kitale, Teso Kisumu, Bungoma, Sharakina kere paka Nairobi, yalama kere lupietongo, abuneto na imoronepu.
Yalama nui, asuda ngayon nejai Moses Ochole, yoga alomuntomo program?
Yoga noi, kutongi shalamikine esu kere lu pete voice of Teso, ara ilemo isabitini yare la tioko lo igor ara imonyo pape Emorimor oni carry pass it ara meeting after meeting kunye yalama mpotate kere no ipu responding ata no South Sudan no Ethiopia no Kenya kareren ichena chana lumamle be geneta Teso adolo no Teso so actually record ijara ya una rereu na kutongo arele munu bonbe barai celebrating aijara buto na kabake Emorimor mamo ara twani ara waika na ara iduch bible ineri nesi be japa kina uruno o so de japa na twanere serai na rereu na adabu wapota dum na mentunga lo South Sudan lui pupile mona ipupu bejite so South Sudan bejite se Ethiopia konye mamitunga pedoreta anyun koda konye yeni joni li pui believe kata koda anyun ka konye konye biano potitu wanyu tu duchulo ya itosa opugano Kenya o Sudan Ethiopia Eritrea ajasi so Charles bore sisa unateke toma atwane rena papa Emorimor nese morkikini nesi era the strongest message la prenga limu na ne pedora tekere morkikin arlo murja bostema arlo murja muriane arlo murja soroti irayo ni kateker na erai the second to the Bachwezi in the whole of Africa konye mamoni pedori to recognize the influence ilijata roni African continent nara iditupujo the Chwezi empire igigotosilo from Uganda you talk about Ankole, you talk about Bunyoro, lomate lupaka Eastern Congo, Kivu, lomate lupaka Burundi, paka Kenya, just mukwesida idumujo bonwe the Kikuyu, a part of the Chwezi empire. Lomate yopaka Ethiopia, lomate yopaka Central Republic of Africa. So I think esuli pupete imor kikino ni pedori to now African Union of people now kaimon do pedoro ni to determine affairs no akwapsine anuipo mamera South Sudan born mamera Uganda born konyera the whole of the sub-Saharan Africa so bore Paul esulu ibongorete kwani nesa irama itunga lo South Sudan bejina chana kusi Uganda esai airama lo Kenya bejina chana kusi Uganda asote so airama be order lo name out of Sudan sakoto beringo aina ngakini nini yarama ayauna tingo in details
kwangen so ateker kwangen ngespejo kolo jaskedo nitomo program ido kapo dauto nananga yaun ebe a program lo yaut yes it's going to be a historic and a special program why nara ijake de okona chan lwelo mtosi alaijo toma Kenya simor kitlo ni iborolo joni kede okona chan lwelo mtosi alaijo toma South Sudan kede laje na ipupia na aja balangesi be South na ko Ethiopia na ibunioni anoi moro kede ni ate kerilolo ajenun nara ikoto ni otomo programalo amisikse joke be nyobodo kwa na inono dobo nyobo Apollo na oni aja utune pepe kede aluche otoma oinono chetunge bakasi epitene ajena ngona papeka skotane pra maikini oni asodikini na daona inok papa Emorimor nyobodo kwa na isi siaoni otomo ipuga eke tendone ibiani balarbe baido dobodo kwa na atekeri na Iteso arebo kwape atekeri nyobo kwa nado ejaingaren na atekeri na Iteso yalamanoye kuna ngeun kideka scout ebe kwangen ngesi jaro na moro to mapak na lolo
alakara joko no atakeri borne polo chuti ngo ajango to ma ichu rango deputy prime minister loka ichu ajango to mo cabinet loka ichu lo singaren loko na esando ba karwali kanye tonia kaisa re kalu kanyape anangun akoro ata chagi na teker de kwana papa ibolo abu papa kisoma kere kopana echaete jasi chude derete na abu papa todo achoa kiri bolo ipulo le perato pato pola teker kwana kopa ikara papa borne polo esanye nebe ai postingen na angauni corona archokini kopona lo joko adumun bobo itwani ne pera ayatakini Apollo tomai atakere na Iteso ibore ne Apollo chuta kotongo a chibo ni bere adisinu abu papa bishop kolim kotoma dao na Apollo kitapa Apollo kiti lipina na nyamara papa toma oreke kotonga chibo na adisinu abu papa bishop loko soroti kolimbe ibore ne Apollo chuta Nezanyi na bitwani lo mai ai boss nyine kodi twani yaske da chobelu twani morekina kituma itwani deri itwani ne yaske da didi ko taw itwani yongit na kasuban itwani pera ngara kina tekere a loste bobo kinarene ata kin koloja bu papa kisoma ki ero ko de ja kwapona
yala manoi kwenye do kana papa rokoni lo makina nin kede aidules kai tekoro busakinta tekerbera jennebe iseido ne ngareno kare balone be jase ngareno kulwa tekerin bia iboko tunga imisikitos chutebe joka ja ututoma oipitene joka ibuma kina nepepe dobo nyo ina kitoni balabe tija nepepe kotoma oinono
balesbus gune bakwese are la ngita dope anon ay morkina na Iteso ingara kini Teso ay soma on basmus gune be a formidable block ituhali morakina ngese pero tatiji ejie aibiro rejie anwangu nara roma polo ekoti tuhali morakina kota umisho morakina ezura bara morakina tetere pero diboro ngula lo sai ngareni etopola teker nara arema mai morakina tia kwa kunoni mami bore soma
alala una lemitia ijone kwa pateker lu ijenebe papalo ilanyoni iketungalu ejana kiningesi ngesi kesilu narai neroni Kenya, neroni South Sudan, neroni Southern Ethiopia, neroni aboisa chiedano ejate kerna Iteso. Now, a deputy prime minister, you could be able to know the radius, how large Ateker work is. Tetere kwanepa na dona anyunebe, etwana niloloa na ara ile mnone tuwana nilo kwanebu na broken papa. Alemu tuwakai, otoma oja ubona itiai, dobo ojasi bongesi kede achobe una itiai.
Yalama aseo na Emorimor rangini aseo na kwanelo zona astoro tungalu nara Emorimor asipokina ngesi bere ne Uganda ne Uganda ngesi seo ngesi konye bere Uganda bol Uganda rade nisara ne boyo ngesi konye ra ngesi papoloki Teso kere kadi jas apaka ne jata ron ko to heritage day angina kumi apodlu itungalu Teso ngulu kere ko Ethiopia ko Sudan kere ko pota itoma apara ngina ka itona ka inono na ka ngolo karu anu angunu aira pape do pengo pongo lo bone ba jogi cholo esa polo kita tekere ngulu kere no apodu ko pota kumi na jai aparna ke inono anu angun akoto ne arada peroros na akoto ma kisila lo teso lo jaso ni kone sawana lo etwa na papa no ba kai be yeto alo ko tekere ken eredo ai bosi a chekere ne pero na dumuni twani chobele ne pedore pera se uno.
Okay, yalama no ya kutubera jalakin papopo nangun sodingo. Let me go to South Sudan. Kwenye bangabong lailo o Kenya. Let's understand the concept. Kwana ilanyo ni papa. Ja situnga to ikitosa ki ebe nyumbodo kwane ja ingarene no teker na Iteso. You shifted bujo lot laije toma South Sudan. How did you find those people in terms of culture and the way they do things? Tunga lule meja singina now pugata jo kesi, and how do you relate keda asor alailo nare bala papa nebe etwana ni loila nyoni mame jana kini atekerne ja Uganda bon jana kina atekerne ja Kenya jana kina atekerne ja South Sudan so kini loja lailo toma South Ethiopia apuputi be ngalailo dabe even Israel alomnune titunga asodete aijenebe o kotwan lo ipugatoni keslopolo. Do you have a feel about it?
So greatly onacheka alama ngono jaingi setengini do chamunte ngobe lwe pupeto kingangi na rai na alo la paran na jijim kusiki upukorosi upuputu nukoli pupene tesibe irasoni atekerni kwani ai ne lal ido omami jeni be ye ai bodo ja tekerengini iso maiti keche borobo pone bali raundo bernare rengbe awai ka keda no kuna la puponbe abuenga dolongina akala dolorengina adumunte ngiboro ejaye ai tegel kine jaye tiaket kwape an example bian jaye bian ona iboro laije atesa papangina konye balengo kedi ka timu la jaye la upuna kedengo mama poto bongo si elelete naraiti amama rai buoro engareno lo attacker araido bala as an ordinary man naraiti ti berena sodit a cultural performance kise nono abole sino nono biani kwa kinai jauna ngaren ite dongi tunga pola napitore o jaido nga muno sibe jauno sikdio kose sinoi lo nono ai todi kinibe ai right ni biane puchi lo nono do konyeno apoto jauno se alaro araido it was a political ground so kotebere nono a management law issue itemono kin ke jano e pejade limuno ber konye kotebere kisi kwa kisai itemono kinosi nare kwa bian nin punu beititi ai so maunu no ai su mokneta konye bodo bonbe mamu protocol aponi kwa kinai ibwapai konye ke janu pe jada nyese beno ali poto jawno sibiani do akoni ngiseni buji ngise zambe nyobati akete jai na chanu wangi na kedio nani ngisi konye ngisi do konye berena lo tonga chopai na sikatunga akaulengo anyuno juba basically a pupile manga ipupube yoko tekerengina do otomo kauke yangoda ajango joba pupe nerasi kui a pupe ngolo mo 70% gena buonu kin sabitu ngolo bala Iteso bi so do preparan I was doing a contract of renovating the office of the president or Bilpam in Army headquarters adomo ni be a chief of staff a rae woko tesot a toposat so utado so enere kosa kede kasa pani o tubori je do aka olongi halama no ke ofisi jukune ke bodyguard be o berji wor ko engineer ngono bune en alama re kona bala do ngal do ngationis kwabo ararerem anubo inyo enera koni ngajep it has helped me nowadays twice adolo renga bara jeli munbe nere jo bale e karamo jo ngait iraje karamo jo ngait ngo arange Iteso ribo lore to gear jebe mata yenga joka aloma rainernyo ako ngaje I felt I was at home he also felt he was at home olimun bone alimo lo apolo be asom sino ne jane kere mame boli somai ja o konjini a lot teso roko lo rengi sikonyai somai and that was how I got massive jobs within the government anwa route nyo ainer nyo akoni ngajep so ekoto iraije tesot mami rumeti ile chainer nyo akoni ngajep because I recall very well in 2007 Nigeria or Rwanda. My first assignment of the job, it was UNHCR. And how did I get that job? My qualification was Iteso. Akaulo, by then the current president, Paul Kagame, had visited the Sumirola Ajang where I was doing some managing a bakery. But then when he visited my department, oh, girl, Jamala and Uncle Danya Rwandan. I don't know Mamma I do because I just spent 1 month. Well, I'm I belong to Radio. Oh, Alamuto Uganda. From which part? Don't Alimun Barang Iteso. Oh, I love you, Iteso. You are very good people. In Malay Kagame, Uncle Iteso. Ebe Jalo, Yoga no, yeah, your joke. I said, I know you as Kagame. But no, I was the brigade commander in charge of intelligence, Kumi. Ebe Yen Yagu. Iteso koni naraje. Ajeni yong be so ngisungu boy so wrong na. Iteso they are very good people. When you annoy Muteso in the morning, edola bong adau no singun. Ebe imina so esinyo Iteso. 2 days vehicle was sent to me, given a UNHCR job because of nyo Iteso. So ni boy joke raje Iteso. Ora proud opupo joko inerenyo akoni ngajep.
Okay.
So aja unengo South Sudan. Dumune ngobe nono le jas kede okinacha langina mame one nonane culture is in South Sudan so ikatunga bunenga elipesi heritage day for this year and it has been accepted. We have requested and it's going to be in South Sudan a place called Kapoeta ni jao ko tekere na Iteso boni a governor kwa pane ona tekere community. We have 3 governors. Na mamo na tekera ni Iteso jiene tebe ilangire oni. Dumyo sa o Kenya we have 2 governors. Lord Turkana we have a governor lo Jamongo o Kenya on the other side and then the tycoon beyond Lobong Louis Lojore lo ija ikopani in South Sudan is the one facilitating everything for us there. Idumuni yobe nono lo okolo attacker Otoma of South Sudan, Keda Ethiopia, Ibusa Depun. So, Otama Urianu tu, ya tekere, akotengo bonbe, yoni Iteso le jaking atakere in general, le jaking angena. Kajienu tu berebe, aoko libu netene aibokolo ilibu nooni. Do alose de boponali. Ejayanga etapoet na balabe, mame karlo engeta kin, mamengo edaote Aiwadi County tabo lito dunuti epola libunanyo oko teker because Apugano South Sudan is facilitating for my movement to go and get all the data. Now kwa pana daberanga down in South Sudan I've entered Kojeta Ethiopia. Now Ethiopia there's 2 hile ate kwa pana munabu weji lekone leja itoma konye borobon be I am going to make sure be anyoni janga dolore Israel ne jasi o nachana lu rasi Iteso linera sa Iteso pure kwangaka omukule konyi nerasi nyo Iteso in the area called Aye jasi Iteso ko lukote lo jangina. So how did they reach there? As per the time when I reached Ethiopia adumunto ngobonbe papa wako la gauno wako tekere apotiti ango nyamata ngesi. Ya potikeso lomutu from Ethiopia adoku na Takana where we call now Turkana. Ya doku rikesi Turkana ni do apaki obodu yini mora yange na raibe aimwa upon na dumu ni nyamata was a problem. Up to now that place is so diverse my metinyo in Nyamata. So around o papa ajasi ngisi ki sapi wongwana mama apese lo kwa kaikpaki na uru di papa ido aloto papa lo ititia alo sameja konya apotitia kwa kisai onyamasi papa o salti sapi wongono keda mojong ke salata kisi wongono o bongore sapate dopet lo iwori tai inyangat Nyangar donge sa bongo be atiuno reja utenane. Nyebere nga bongo ai Ethiopia. So he went back to Ethiopia. He settled down in Ethiopia. Utiakune uriar donge sangina. Utiakune che grupu leja in South Sudani. A percentage of it osala kinyai o Ethiopia. Konyo abu jakaiti lo na chokolo inyangati tonal dokar ready see alamarai Israel. And then that is where na buo na chikwaikai otwanik. So it is really a privilege be ikota na dumon e data lo ikamondinyo woko tekere. So nera kwa pane one pone loda be itwanikiti inyangata Israel apone daikinai Israel in this area called Aye. I promise Atekerebe, I will have to reach there. The day you people will come to South Sudan for the Heritage Day, I will make endeavor to see that be a historical ngasinyo akerotongen. Atakini kwenye natengo cheni po my program is all about Atake.
Thank you. Yalamanwe anubere baya unso keda chia chepake ipoitu ngaluma mejenutos ide posakinta jenun. That is why I say the program lo going to be a historic or in any way. Akona los Kenya. The concept pola geunere atemarbe ekoto kwa na ojai oni kwape atekeri tungenedi eni imorkikit pupijon ni nerangesi. We are picking up a legacy kiapa pe Emorimor. Now just experiences di chelu ada otutu nganyun kamnara kede pugae and of which kwa ni baloni be no elo sete opana atere kini kede atekeri ko ingaren kwa pesi lujasi toma atekeri neja Kenya ageu nune geu najo ajenu nebe eja siboro kwa talu nyoka iboro lu idaujo aite lu ajokoto kalumamu ejokuka kalu womitoni ebe tidol otoma anijo nason
Yalamanoi toma atakere jas borle puaka le joka noi. Na so ditbere angajep poko right inono. Asko nyanga je poko poli pupia kamuka ejaka it engineer abuko ngarakine sadum naso. E right borne polo noi. Ai mor kikino ko bala idwelu ko duki. Idwelu ka tuan gepe tontoto mongin. Nakito ni agogongune polonoi akanakito poloni atakeroko. Ishe polo eti ya tumnaka deg tumnaka kere ikutusko gente angaje poko angaje penebuna ngarakin kesi ko kingara kangna akito polo bode atakerache. Ayatakin bodongo tomo inono lopelo Netolos papa Emorimor apugan kene abonga shauna krone punoi kotomo inono abonga anya tamara akimor kikina kere Iteso alomno Kenya, Ethiopia, Sudan pako tewa mane pene Uganda engara ko nino omo abigna loste alomno Kenya paka Sudan mamtu ananyero ngaje poka along Iteso bon bala jona chikotuborio jona bia ibo Kenya ngalete tunga kere asokonya itu tongo toma pugan ka pape Emorimor ai tutonge karlo 2006 abut shi sapai alemnosi atamarebe atokon beronda to polone tata kere ponali ko Kenya kane tamare shi atamare ka to bereka pejo kisipapa ka nyutu edia unoni bia ibo kajenu tunapua katoma ataker kabunete shape jokin papa akili pinesi atamare papa ediaote yoko Kenya monye tidwe gona jenu ni jogo Kenya ibale obia ibunia apejokin sho abu papa ki ko chamo abu papa ko diaosho ka joka noi raera la palo kanyet kauni apangin kabongore te sho Kenya akitemeteme kanuka diauni la polon la ngosi bibi papa lo Iteso abu konye papa ko chama bunare ko buni papa la palo tomonet kebu e puch ngola buki somakin ko Bomas of Kenya na me bala Bomas of Kenya jina Nairobi ngina rawe buko rawe puch le polono ya but kana chana ko sil ko Turkana ko butu Isamburu sabut ko butu e jasle bala e beli chamis alom ko Baringo Kenya ngina abut ko buten na rastura ngaje po raito ni dwe luke petwano duk asoko nyende peneni abushu ngare ginti papa sho abusho galipata pugan na ko Kenya ebe ko ina kishoda lip mama be ne chadu ko kinere Iteso kanka ngara kina kile lakron ke inono abu apugan ko cham ina kinishalip kadauna ina kinishalip nguna busho ga utakino sakidukwe Iteso ongolo pelangar kinti ngaren kodukoete kodukire rengoli ko bongun bode papa la pala bala sone bela pala ko po December angare la Iteso ko toma Bomas of Kenya Nairobi asukonya shauna pakangin rengoli to lomikaf no le putoma pugano Kenya eto dikitinya na balon lu kataker atemare ay no noko raiti e nono le polonoi e nono le smorkito ni asoko nyine peneni kade uno sona morkina abegine to ni around ni katema si tunga leyo ngite kapop kana leyo ngite nui kanu kinyana na ronko ngini kianyo na me ejata lukataker idumunio alaro ngini abu akuju ki kisboiki lukataker alaro ngini alaro ne raite balai ne barit kito Kenya na me dumunio Iteso na me jasi alaro ngine jok kota koro mogo kota koro achok kota konyena raite along alaro ne jok na buyo Uganda na tong beine akoro ngini bore mamo adolti Sudani mto adore katika jaka itu engineer konya liptonge be ka deunus bala morkina asukonye ka topolo to inonoko parana ka nipupino lo sebe japaka nakakimoro neni pe akimora kron ke inono Iteso kere na mejaso silukata kere kolomutu baladiani butos kwa anyuta apakana aimonyo papa kigwa papa apu kere kwa anyata mare mor kikina takere neni pe kapali kisa chelet lo momke yaro ni kingaren kapali kisa chelete ka mor kinosi ekicholonga de right ekicholonga bera ka papa boykin papa right ekicholonga pe itwan boni pe bone buna boykin ekicholonga karorias ka anyutu ngae bekini akitoloto atakere kingaren
yalama so kwangen ngese jasi Moses dawja pupuna ne jaso konachan itejo South Sudan out chute balabe jepole jeni atari tunga lwangi ne nono noe Kenya balabone be ikamtos kesi nono kede ay boma kenana teker tinne kone domna jobone be jasi kesi kede loda ija kita pugano Kenya ichie kapun kwape apugan biani el monokini bishop angina balabe kwana ilo sio ningaren anwado mne tungana ne ichie ekotona anyu nebe ekotoretu anle chobe ekotoretu le jene inono ekotoretu le napapara le pupi above all lo imor kikit itunga. Now I want you to relate these issues with what is happening kopana nara yoni keda atekeri na mama ajina raidi automatic na teka ba tekeri na teko ka tekeri na ikona we have thousands yoni keda ilukumin lo atekeri including okona channel wakara moja and we see what is happening. Yes
na soliti ara do bible
ebo
aja tekeri no jara kineka baka ile to jo Buganda yi jate kere baka ni dokole ina baka ina garia ina chori ito na itule esuli jeneta tola konyi bore polo yene be Iteso Iteso. Iteso is a region. I don't want to use the word Iteso. Nesi you be a person of kwesi adukunu Teso uni jana kini Teso adoketa keche kere edukuta tukoto na peta rai dongo bali kari kanyo ni gwa Emorimor mini kanyo na ritomo gwa Emorimor pursa loto to sports ground nini ese aje president kodela captain Mike Mukula kodi chetu ngalo wa Kenya ibore polo ile kotobo itungale jasa u Sudan leja Kenya leja Ethiopia leja Eritrea ka Israel ne sawo momo epone bani julanda requesi akiri andu na Iteso economically. One of the hindrances lwe baka iba iduke palace aidukunyo akira munu kere itoritos owailo amamus kakiri andu ne gogo including South Sudan inejua onacheka itora kiro nejie itoro Teso nejie itoro Karamoja kiro nejie. Yes, a right to need this emuno torate kerna Iteso ne roko konye bia ibe pedorere gangichu anu ayaun au miso ni chamneti idunga. Number 1 adawi an pape mormore yengu mama joko ene ribola twan konyare mama tukoto elo seta chaun ibo reba samu sugu transparency accountability osote dare pitelo Iteso elemneti tungi kapulu are rais South Sudan are Eritrea are America bian mamuo ajeni enera MP edopet but their scholarships 1446 arapu putengo ejoko kumit edopa akwata wana kaisa monik akwatani ikosi ni bani epido atekera Iteso aisob wailo Kenya wailo South Sudan Uganda le pero remwaru pero zakwa psine inu ekotosi experts pero akwa plan America to higher joko the technology con even the Chinese imeda una take eja tukotole bakai aido Test education fund eswa matas aswa mletameti ugwe kitosi ichu amonyo titungale po akira accountability nari jone neri akira temoin atukoto papa deputy prime minister ekotese temoin aswa msoiti ayapu otunga ejatu kote ekikaja nerana niyo ni kamera kode nono ekoto ayapu lotonga isirigine lukumiti doje mara Iteso le departi milonini iuni wongon anepa ne berot o Uganda don't want to use bene Teso right ne sectarism akutongo agoy kina tasoro kere ane jai imari to ndefaro milonini wongon ile mon even kapne lukumit annually ile mon 4 billion e palesli kotona duku ntia bai asan bongenere what are the opportunities inyo are muso no ja South Sudan le pedorete Iteso lo Kenya me down le pedorete Iteso lo Uganda me down do bonyo are muso ne pedorete Iteso lo Sudan e me down na ne o Uganda na sodit asomali o yauna mu Sudan ne so mata jok so mata flying school so mata yi angare jamatala ne nyina eya Iteso lepu o Sudan engineer itimi jongali mununu inyo obu atukotola ichuno Sudan iswama ebongori ne bakai organizational structure ara imama tukotona ichu elosi adukun a very robust network we just need a disciplinary action ni nene jasit amamente sole basi we yonga mwalo sa achamunichu nesi atekere tutu ekisil idumuni jego gungura kere na sodi ineta tekerin birara ki bobora ikunyo eje tunga ni lolo mamu eje na keteker iko kino Buganda eni kari wangon e pira limo indi jo nelo muto basite so bene la musugun esera e basite so be biboy ne sa jire kale di banda ina ke musugun iboy ne subusia ne pere muchomo ne mame se podo. So integration of the language o angara language lo o jai orai e language lo inerai adis boy city kere mama musugunu erasi an international language ere local language in England konyi bano ni beba musugunu erai an international language e lota president lo Spain are lo sit America are jena musugunu e lo sen en America Spania ijuli je ka musugunu anu ketunga lu boy to get officite Osasuna and others to understand the language lo inera ineto yo no cabinet mami tungali pu ejenete members of ichu anunyo e mame work plan kotongo ener na bait mame spirit is to use heritage, also be to use atwanere, also to use donations. You must come up with a roadmap. Lo pedorata itunga ejene jo yongo lo it's my first time apupu be deputy prime minister boy o bustema lo longo anyu jo deputy prime minister itori kinyo be bara iberi engongo ne leader ayi min mama jeni jo do kwantu lo chalo ekoto ichu o just ko calendar be lolel la palo jaiso Kenya odoto de tudala Busia odoto tai boy kwanela pale tupai loso Sudan ijaiso area mun ko de governor Louis general who munu kere na mudem and discuss ponelo atekere etupakinda bobo edite contribution aneji tonga okwap na ekoto isemeroi nyini kona bongu netege kini neteso ne koti isemeroi ikapune lukumiti nyini pak ina kina uri anikeko kisirikina kwa taka nyami chapati inyo mamji pale chapati ni yare aina kina morgur kapunu nyo elukumiti then second lukumini yare also the institutions I mean of higher learning lukumini ka eperatu koto toma pakina editi atukuni kapunu lu edukerere Iteso era ile noi mame palace konye jite so de dakrus billion even trillions ijata Iteso do mame pedorete adokun way forward for the new Emorimor ekotorai etwan le pedore mor kikina tekere. There are various differences which have existed inside each. Akotonga limununu including camps dumunia neralo. There must be one channel of communication, and the weakness lo amenichu is to control rabak ngunu le basbe be rabanga na tukoto limuni lonu giri lonu mama jore pedori I jar ko different spokespersons. There will be a coup nari limu ko be kamera pugani balo be mama kamera pugani. I think they could work in a structure lo e pedoreti itunga anyo also to pattern with the companies isoma Buganda MTN Airtel anyu ribonbe igwe kiri kwani ka twani apapa Emorimor igwe nu mwache maybe a memorial event le pedorete Iteso kereto soma atukuna ikapunu and build a kosilo itupakini ne tupakini abobo Emorimor lo eseuno akotongo lepi ore Emorimor lo epedori le Emorimor le rai exposed Emorimor lo epedori aseu ministers lo rasi competent, not ministers who are loyal. Loyalty and competency are two different things. Etwele rai loyal yikini even mambure jeni nare balebo sibi akotongo etwele rai loyal. Etwele rai competent elimojo bela polon asoma mamwa pedori da somna pedori etupakini eneri about heritage days no celebrating a day a J question in quotes mamulu iswa maneta accountability in LOC eshala mikine tunga accountability mamera is rigidi bone even visibility right in accountability visibility deputy prime minister how visible are you in my district Amuria how visible are you in Tororo where you come from how visible are you ane Kayonga in Iteso akotongo ni enerino and I'm not I am directing my question to you I'm directing it to the entire institution maybe I personal connect to use advantage a Guinea South Sudan be a to organize also tell him the man could so meeting a president of South Sudan as well as Shalamakin Bayala made Arakosa take care like Iteso maybe upon a pedal J Alatune Tau you don't need to wait be Euro Rijo a delegation about below Squaniso Beria Munko de Ruto Arodinga baby I Wokani au Misokus I below Sesegua Iteso as so are not Kenya once they are placed in better positions they can influence Iboroli put to trigger down I mean to their subjects or put Iboromune Teso Bia Bepelo Rakwani E2 with the new cabinet to team up with the all diaspora Munule just kingangina kere o sote tamitama no swama. They are senior politicians and the Mukulas, the Chwerus, the Lupos, the Murias, the who. Which role are they playing? The members of ICHU are also divided politically. Kutungali mununu. Sara mamo ni ifune na pai ne nono. Aigenga ren. Nono number 1. Opote political parties. Me I am a member of the DP. Konyesa Emorimor mamu erauni a half DP, a half NRM, I mean a half ODM, I mean a half Jubilee. There will be one political party called Emorimor. We shall all go there and say the papa be so lichoraki so. Mami tungali po anga tos the advantage na ejari yetu ene. Ekotosi it tunga ya ulu praises. Imotokana wajasi kaikapulu atwakata ilukuminika ilukuminilu lwatoso mapugani billions of shillings awomiti ngombonibe tiswa matosi bore orurike Emorimor nyo ijari konye alimoti ngojobe atwanere kaijar ne ureri koku yala masitu ngepoto nganyu ni koku netwanya etwen epotitunga so there are two events to my jar ni urunere jo jaunere jo ni twania jo nyama inojo that one mamji pelori empeget konye to consolidate and also the next Emorimor record I said to our competence right on a gogo itualu le pelotre to use mamga guilty be onule mara ipoloko deputy prime minister o mesika kakiro mamga bala bole mara nyo ipoloko konye kutaiduku etimu le gogo Buganda that has got issues konye mama ngata kiroketen enero radio mama ngata kirokete warika popular secrecy of the kingdom necessary to ejakro ne betete monikin o mame necessarily jo alimun yemuto o mame necessarily ja elimun be kabake rai week e kabake pa kina re kabake Emorimor Charles and the listeners inara jonu oni out of the largest attacker meaning again tomatekeri na no we have the Turokana, we have the Topos, I don't know the rabbit, Munkerinya light itoma. E kotosi itu sanikino o kwapa nini sanikino amesekin bekwani nunesebet saswa. Mami tungali pu ejenete even amate kanere kaskola ataga na imojo rere salu idue kapa library books mamjidu muni amateka na teso aneji idue kapani anunyo we have not embraced the culture mamo ne library lo ibujo soroti city ne baka beteso library ne kwani losijo en bonbe de fasti Iteso ete gari atukoto na Rai Frederick Bomas of Kenya the fastest tesot analo mar South Sudan ara engineer I be jakron.
Let me first take you through this short commercial break. Losna young pack dioi. Danga nyakakin jo a little maybe minute to note to summarize abong no one eja engineer nare rokakron ponu.
It's 3 p.m.
Gentleness wakalo ngesinum tijo MTN itosoma pointa na konuka MTN senchu osodijo adumuna minat nuka titai MBs luka titai arai messages luka titai ichika star idopet wongon dopet hash oseku use points osodi atupaki unitubitai teteri dumuni aina kinende kon naka senchu.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Yes, sebo tekere punengon ngese otara ko program alosane otoma okwam ido ane otomo studios jengo kede adungo Fred Teso Kinya jengo kede jakaite lodere deputy prime minister actually Iteso Cultural Union alaije otoma Busia, that is in Busitema Uganda ne. Okay, thank you. Apollon Papa etiang Peter Odir, and then I have jengo kede engineer Julius Epiat Jailaje Toma South Sudan also dikini jengo kede jakait Moses Ocholene Moses akutengo ja angetakin kede con pointing on narai we have some yes
as I conclude Charles Kodeli Pupete kana chana le bongorete Kenya ule bongorete South Sudan le bongorete Ethiopia and other countries. Let's preach Emorikikini emame atu kotone pero igwo arete ya ketoma asoto ni ener akironu eke uni bakor alle mari bakor aneji tungaoko prime minister which business plan ara los kineta bani eja taratu kotonichu emame a single wire house low pero richu a todum across the 5 countries era ni lewu oni all the time elipanari nara imamo oni itemo kiti tunga okolo kwapo asa tukoto as an institution emwanyi ere cash crop of Uganda imeda pugano Uganda konye atukoto no Uganda has got a lot of interest in coffee code target. They have cooperatives emame cooperatively what katebe ichu cooperative le pedoratu koto to borrow money I mean as a business sekoto ibongorete su Kenya bongorjo South Sudan engineer in your next meeting prime minister mamu iyangarase obonepol. How are we changing the mindset bia ijuleoni adama ni tunga it to sibako will never listen to you. So let's work hard, get young people on board, get old people on board, use the expertise of our brothers in the UK, in Canada, in the United States, across the globe or the diaspora in brief. Abomunu to build the capacity law issue at the grassroots level. It also might atekerin. Each atekere pedori they are saving group and they remit money to each you and each you can give them back as a loan, as a kinyom, as what. Oh just on it tracks trailers going to Kenya, angare maido, angare nyo. A patana even I need to cross the border. Biborolu eras like kingdom.
Okay.
I beg to end here for now.
Jalamanoi engineer Ainerbiania Bishop and Nakere, you really have a direction of a vision. La tekere. Ebe ne dumuno ni itunga luingare ni kitosoni. Orasi lue chobe, orasi lue jenete inono, orasi lue napara, orasi lue jenete la suban, akiepolobe vision la tekere, pape community, erailo, a joke, lebu na ngarakin. Nereja kaitimo sociolea, akironu ipunoi. Ad akuna agenda neje hiyo ebe bia ipedoroni abolia a neutral ground igeutna tijo otomoine record balajo bonbe nubia na jasingna you wanted to see no irigalia loy kamanara kede ateker dressing mode, maybe cultural dances, borolo nyametitunga, even a poli bororoni tunga. Not only a poli nap to tunga, a boroli bororone twenetwana, or a leja a no notonga. But bujo wany politics, nesiberebo asubitos bala, they took a very much play or a very big role. Angina. Now, how do we play a neutral ground as a Teker? Because now we're looking at the heritage, Lower Teker and Iteso, we're looking at the vision, Lower Teker community. Since we are identifying that one of the factors, look upon Utasa Birokin heritage work, is politics, how do we play a neutral ground without getting destroyed by politics? 2, do we need a new concept as we move forward kwape vision la Teker kwa na community? Ebe abongo si ewadika utudoberebo be concept pepe chie like amnara kede ateker. And 3, how different are we from other kingdoms? Lineroni, should we go the way we have been moving on, or we need to twist some things a little? Ageu tuberebo ebika na kisibori chielwe mamete areja silebulwe jasi areba loto pona ngopangon teterekwa na oni ibalabo nebe iraondalu iboliai epelo lo eboliasi nuche kingdoms areba kabakanuto achie. How different are we from other kingdoms? Aje bak mamoni jeni nero ninwe kingdom ogilara loke concept paper. 4, coexistence lo ateker nero ni karamoja topotha. We see issues to do with the akroni kamtosi amounts na ainera nara na teker, yet we are one. I want you to run through that a little. Donga jekin lo apapala ilo nare bakasi kopokana be elwana Kenya, elwana Busia, elwana ijaske sekoro saanyine polo eperotra geune road. But let me start with the engineer briefly on that, and it will be the same story. Nejasi lo apapala ilo yarama.
Yarama beronga limoni ka national bakasi be lo sete Kenya. They are not going to bury anybody there today. Allow that the 3 hours, maybe with some additional time, be given to us. Nara ni jara nune e polo ka deponi e kosisa pali. So napakinosi amora kanuku achorota atakere. So oaika ipulo lonu e beto na domunoi. And nasoditi bian kijoni ngina onacheka bishop really did a commendable speech or prayer. Chamuto ngoto ma akaba kanduda kija ene diakar ngisa kwa pana or round very timid kings. What he spoke yesterday is really something that he was touching. Yado pe akiro dana bui teka dikitangeta bala yengo ikoko duku. Politics should be desisted off completely from cultural issues. A day like yesterday, it was a cultural day. Konyinu ilechi kara umokin adumunbe onacheka amuriat had come I nyamakini papa ke, and he was deferred not even to say a word for a minute. Me as Julius, I felt it. So, Kainachan, I have decided to put down my tools. Leave all the jobs that I was doing. I want to make sure that I come to the culture and play a very vital role. Anyunbe ne karunuti poloko, we have made achievements so that we make a difference between our cultural institution and the other cultural institutions that are prevailing within the coastal countries of where Atekere are living in. An example that I am going to be using is that of Maiga, the Prime Minister of Buganda. Maiga was using ebe tafali. I one time witnessed when he was moving on his tafali program, and Iteso in Mbale paid 12 million cash down to Maiga. Why? Because he was so much doing, he was genuine. That is Iteso giving 12 million to a Muganda program of Tafali. Why is not there a program of Atekere community, which we have billionaires, even I'm told in this barrier program, there was a Iteso who offered 1 billion shillings. But all in all, we don't need those accountabilities. We know lo atese, ras luinyo, lo atese. Kwenye kote kwa pana ngalimo ne sate kerebe, yes ili pupete okingangi na. Achama ngaipala, because I recall very well when the governor of South Sudan, Louis, invited me with a 5-man delegation to his compound. I was given an interview before accessing all the necessary activities that we are now trying to come out with. At the end of the day, the first question I failed because the issue had not popularized what they were doing. It was a question that was related to issue program. I don't believe the second question, I really made it, and he touched my hand and said, yeah, I am talking to a real biological family of mine. So how they began, the locaries, how they began up the issue of the Atakere, what have you. And really, at the end of the day, it was very pleasant. I'm making sure that you people who are in South Sudan, you get citizenship and security. I am guaranteeing for you. So, Kapani Nerone Tesotole South Sudan is 100% sure that he is secure. Now, because blood is thicker than water, what I saw in him. So, Ikatuma, Otomake Nueja Nenda. My work program, that the vision that I have, because the other day when I was at Parliament, when I arrived, when the programs for actually preparing for the burial of Papa, I was one of the VIPs who was at the Parliament. At the end of the day, I found out Auka Pisurnu Teso, Erata Pisurnu Piriaka, what the Deputy Speaker spoke. He said, I don't want, when Honorable Mukula was trying to raise an issue, Dubai broken Papa, how are we going to, no, leave that one to be handled by the cultural institution. I saw something in that daughter. In most of the time now, I speak with the vice president, with all the political leaders of Iteso. All of them are positive now. They are really yearning to see an organized institution management within us, and they also come and support. So, ite dongo bonbe atwana papa ducha atwana reja unokale. It just advantages keda disi advantages. A jaunibi anatwana rengin. Ya pote sisi outuni pu otoma. Ite by the time I gave my speech, when I spoke to Toposa, what a cheer I received from the Karemojongs, because they are one network. So as we speak today, Kopana, I have a series of programs, appointments with the Karamoja team, which means a chamudo Kopana beranga ipala akaswa msini nueja anu anyo wonbe a jauno commitment law I toporenyo atekere na Iteso. So my vision yesterday when I told you people about the sponsored scholarships of education, Kwapad, me, I'm only 5 months old in my office since we began. But within the 5 months, what we have achieved is already something great. We already have 5 children whom we are already sponsoring. Immediately we talk, aswam, uni jasi gulu. Dopete jai ma bukedia uma I've not even seen physically, but I'm already paying money even ready now. And then there are some who they called me. Ikatuma. Ejaso ni Iteso general Atekere. Where we live in, it is an environment that is too wealthy. Mwali aberejo kwa pane bisinia this one oboreo like bisinana. That could be an area where we build a cultural site for tourists to come in. Itejo is a very good site for that. Kwapani, the cement used in the whole country in Uganda and beyond comes from the land of Atekere. all the way from Karamoja taken for processing in Tororo. But the kingdom of Ateker, of the issue, what percentage do they get tax? What do they receive from that?
And that is why I'm asking.
I see that.
Do we need another concept? Or
automatically, believe me or not,
because now
that question that you are asking is automatic. That way, iborulu kera I tolomunte teroni media uni otama or naturally borule yakite dekoni. Idumuni bone ponali. So iboye doni kopani or amisiri ne je muogo or periete.
But then why do we have the existing structures? We have ministers for natural resources, Iteso Cultural Union. Papa knows this. Agent Papa Crono.
Believe me, Opupok Berejo, the Deputy Prime Minister, today I have known that is the Deputy Prime Minister by now. And yet in actual sense is a neighbor to me in Tororo there. I have never been knowing that I live with the Deputy Prime Minister as a neighbor. Can you imagine this? So, right now, elimuno berba katunga. Kenya anu fejana akote ngobera uriaka woko lo eja ngare nebe o chamuto bere kese dabe. It is where there has been a weakness. We should now come with the combined efforts atumunaka imojonga kedaturno kidingi around usio enyo akiroto kwana adopted anyo to bonbe the board which we are going to have right now after election of the replacement of Papa. Are we having South Sudan representation on that board? Are we having Kenya on board? Are we having Tanzania on board? Around the Chaga region, the Itesos. Are we having Tanzania on board? Are we having, when I talk about Uganda, this should involve the Karamojongs on board of Uganda. So in the board that we put, Adumunibe, in all these countries, they are on board. At the end of the day, you will find that transparency is put in place. An example, we have the Dodofiko. Dodofiko is a son who has a talent, but out of his talent, there is nothing that he is benefiting as a human being. You may only find it today we were with him at Town View. At the end of the day, he ends by what we give him because he has come to meet us there. Konya adumunube atalanta ne jei otomo teso tongoni. Mame support leje itomake. This boy is even better than this talent, these people in Buganda here. But because now we are not looking at our own children and promote them during the time of when we were in political time and what and adverts, you resort to use Imugana, Kainyeni, Dodofiko team. That is not right. So there are so many Dodofikos, even in Kenya, even in Ethiopia, even in Sudan. We need a time to make sure that departments are set. Now look at that example of education. In Yesita and Nashikabe, imeneuni bodo Iteso tareba atekere BA and AJ alco talents. No. Kwapani, tiko noni like education program. Uganda must set up very good schools that the other South Sudan people come and study here. The pilots be trained in Soroti flying school here. We benefit out of that, and then they go back to the other side. At the end of the day, tax must be input in it. And then, the institutional attacker has a lot to do, and we are the richest, but we are not saying we are rich. So, attacker, akote ngase chama kisengobe, alosa ngai pala ka aswa msine, akote ngaganga na ni jasesi, anyu mbonimbe. I'm not asking give me the money. Which support do I want? Physical support. Ebe iganga kisengo, I can do that by myself alone. I can, like the South Sudan can do it even entirely. The money is there. But now, are we putting the money in the rightful use?
Oh, okay. Yala Manwe.
Ebo.
Let me go to Papa. Kapa give to Remo. Ngesi ebe ijasi boroli dawani aibi kakin. Ijasi boroli wa mtoni beti ibe kake. Ijasi nui dawana swam. Ido ijasi ni jiona swam. Biani ne bishop angnabe. Kwana kailo sioni another chapter anadum no be ngaibo elosi aya oni mariti ke borole gogongo noi e balabone be koto ja chobew to moy ngarno ni ngon e koto ja ayene inono e ipitene to moy ngarno ni ngon e koto ray ngarno ne le jaina paratoma e koto ore ngarno ne above le jeni lokasban kachienwa poni nertete angna ido itungalu ipu dwa jasingina lu balone be tungalu tie kilo polok oto moy ngarno na doke na kechen we geregera nera sakrono ay puch ay bomakina aruchokina swamboro ne pepe kira chenu ijeni jo kwana ibala bonebe ijasi politics lwe jasi pero richa igir pero richa achamun kwenye atukoto na itekerioni chadakina tumoiswa mae keda politics kwana bala ngobe papa epo nani lo so kwanoni kede vision la teker lo ngaren oma mu politics epote amunyo munyoni nare jase ngarno ke kurosa imeda un tortos bobone pijoni otomo ipitene be Buganda ipupi genera kire bake be eli moyaka baka kiro politicians also have to toe resi kere ay birokina keje kwap ingisto situnga lo atekerna Iteso winera sangaje padope ebe nao koda era kabakanutu arabeje pole jari nako dodo kwa na itoli kini do na mesekin achapake polo be itoro na isoma okoboro nesingo pongo dodo ni wamiti be tiere keja atarikwi kedenu kecharino kabaka bunyoro kabaka busoga kabaka buganda kabegilara nako so arriba loni be kono na somo bokoboro o subite bala ejai kada kabakanut kata ngin ikwai kini done ai etupakini nini eneri akronu kamnara kede abarbe baritoni lasbani nakitoni boro kwa patekere tejo karamoja ngina simiti litoso maita kwa pin Uganda ne elomno toma alupo kono atekere imori ate tororoda keda che boiso ido tomo structure lo atekere idumuja bakebe beje minister lo natural resources kede police somato lasbana kwa idumuni je minister loy kamera kera krono shoman ija krono ngaleu ija now epone anebe itorate kera misekina be isoma atu koto kwa nailo soni ngaren etupakini neni epone boda ni ebe itori kwa ne vision la tekera lo sakonye oja imor kikina na itunga ijeono niko pokwa na araida luapa pala ilo Kenya ebe ijayo ningu ngetebere kwa patekere Arriba lon baya utito potha aya uti karamoja bika isite solwani bale je polo mamo akonye itunga iria makinatare ejok ne kwa na ibusa kinto ringarnon ari ngarno ne la take to bring all people on board
era manu polo kakaro no chuti
yebo
so ajara na reremu na pepolo chuti itesa kwenyu abu papa bishop misik akro naka Iteso kwenyu Itesa kwenyu ni ajenna joksio no ijata kesi ajenna barana ijata kesi ajenna polo Iteso ma barangini opona lepera ngala kinyo atekere ichibore ne pol neza hangine be juleta no ataka nutu ara aja kana tanu kolonga ataka ntoto mapuga na papa kotongunu kwa ikasi ngunu kitimono rositunga obongos bobo around bali tunga luka kale diope kwa ora omomo bali tesa aito somara reuna imorikini asero bichetwani ineperera ngara kina pita atekere alo stekina aren desibore ngini ichebolo ne polo chute neso na anyu nebe ikisela ara nono ara constitution lo Iteso e porona tupite chuti kupona lembe to ngara kini Iteso agweta na body kama bala lengesobe politics raibore ne be ta jaut mamoni pera agire be roko politics ajoka no rasminda science lo juki ngara kina kwa apollo mamoni pera agire be erono ma koyedo are yeyo kara koni pogani na ichu koroja gweta tinga aidara be kisiri ponle lo so ngesi lo inyegi twana bunare be mam torone ya so ya chama so koreja igweta ne bas musukure be principles ajadu kere igweta na kon na ngarakini yo alo ngaren tusuma barako ni yas kere yo anyune be igweti boroto mo line nyegi cheto anu bobunere ko be na balare be ipiane ko balare engineer ajate nusabonka anyo na ti na puri tungalu temo kine na pitosi chudibali teso o ibuokro za tenu so keribu iboro le rame lu tio konya mambori peramento samao mama pono rama etenisi na pono dakara keda une puchite mama pono nomuna tenisi mama pono takutatu apuata mama pono kinomu trejajosi mama pono so akromu kere itodotebe abwe politics o modia au mishoko arapakendo ngone mama beta chamu ko rangi nebe iborne program koni lo scope betore ara de politician ko passe ko nyemera arapakene ni che golore ke program
Listen, okay, Lailo, Kenya. I think you understood. Imesi kitijo chutajok policy potoria aingisetangon. Now, mamu, someone would even say, ebe, epuchitila bean, mamu era idole inono. Narai, mami tunga tolo stosi eiboro otomo inono. Onikere, it's logical. It's logic. Ebe jeno ni kere pole be itori amonya itunga otomo inono kinere sine kotoma oinono mamu apoto munisoma unos. But let's leave that aside. That's not for the main point here. The main point we are talking about the vision la teke ebe kwana as we embed that otomo concept le bala nebe angardo kwana teke to another level. Bia iwa mtijo kwape atekerna boyi alayotoma kwapo no Kenya ebe ekoto teni iborolu inero nilu mamu politics epota amonyo monyo epole jare inono kede cultural institution 2 ai reiki na jok ebe oni ijaitomo ebe tosomata berotoma pesik ainape tanu poto ne wadi kautebe itolosoi ano apollo na teker itolosoi anwa teker. Do we need another concept paper from zero, square zero or square one? Anwanyu nebe maybe ninange square na iperona adumake na icha na teker. And then ibuti jok alai yatu makwapu no Kenya. Jen jok imisikiti de jok epo lejari the cohesion, the relationship lejawa ni pape ateker. O ni dabere, o ni bon. Ile majo angaje pengin where their identity, and I really concur with Kenya, Karamoja, tiono jadu mno ya Karamoja, tuma minera keza Karamoja. Kopani dumujo tauna loda, they'll be speaking Kejung. Now, how do we go there?
Yalamane Janet Charles, abongo ribero akionenere onachi engineer Julius.
Yes, ebo.
Atupato ninabu isomagino sidian mamon berabe ta muruokini ngun. Lumoke tuana beite bunetuana nyoni katamarebo abonka pachane alitoa karima walitofa. Abu ko yara abu apugane naka Uganda kwekite President Museveni ko chama aina kini papa law property decent burial na balaibe official burial. Iskonya buko ya ngara kwa nakapapa kololo. Teo. Abu kitoloma kwa nakapapa. Tomo parliament for the first time our cultural anthem was sung in parliament of Uganda. Nyobo konye edolunore ore papa ejaska puganken ne bala Iteso cultural union. Members lu councillors did not officiate. Emamu kesi buko inakine kesi apaka anyune ata akimonyo papa. Bale constitution big clan leaders. Etwalaka polon kapaka ngoli clan leaders ebunete ay brunesi amomo ngabuka ni clan leaders na melo mutere papelope eji e clan leader tinleza go itike family ka papa inyara una family mamo nganyo ne clan leader chairman ma
Instead was a
bubor
political
ko
leader.
nyalunosi ejasi members kwila bukor chautu akironuke inono bale jakaiti modot e founder members ngu mamsho abutu kanyu tate pebonde ene mama buko inakine kese apak so achaman ro atamare akirono buso manosi right politics dodo mamona murokini akironuke ke inono konye abogno kanye suna tuboro singunu ada ushar mokin arimakin kesi abogno atamare akironuke inono buyo Kenya ayong to show noi akironuke inono akitor to inono ngopengoli enakit show agogongu nakakilate apopkere abalong arayo etesot aja sonito ne papla constitution le jokuna noi amonga temare be do we need another concept paper yes we might need one in the near future konye bere katoso mata bere lopelo le jasi koni ketogo ngoto katopolo tinyana inonok asukonye ajeno arawe fiska papa ngara kotogina adumuni twani nisaki boikin kitupe akironke inono kotogina lo edauna kibure twana parasha ngon kona kunete cheka kisboikino kicholo kisboikini eringa konyete mteme akiro atamar kirumite bere kicholo kidari ila piot kereta omo ila pika nkape kona obunut konya kuna sa unya dumneche konya balong ebe Jason to ne document le a constitution kabongo sibere ka somate constitution lo karero sikanyutu ejina mabeino na roari berara ngaya takina na disadis kato somate constitution le constitution lo pelo ne se buna ngaraki no ni ainu no ni amor kina ni pe ton bobode akiron ke pegete ngunu ke chelete ngunu ne constitution ngola ngaraki no ni kanu kinyena baron ko ngini atupito ni ne jasi no adikate oksabo mamere le mam ke jas kinyena chelet mamere le mam ke jas kinyena angolopa konye ja angolope ya uno kusne ni pe akina manama ni pe kanyu na ebe akunye ton kingarene shoko Kenya ipu iteo diani abu eje polo nepe bala e kama be baba emojong Raila Amolo Odinga eraite pe le mina kronke inono yasukonye salo utanisa kote kronke president around a president lo Kenya lo kanyet polo abu papa go abu ziko pupate marabu papa ko lio abu emojong tingoli Raila Amolo Odinga ko go toni atakere na Iteso buyo kwa nyate marabu ko limoko ni atoro kam kitunga labu nesko joku ebe bunesi angara kini atakera idukunyena palace bunesi wala Kenya akiduku bore bala cultural center asikonya bala sonebe economical improvement keduko center lo kere palace lo pelo gwakin bode bor chadawa era library right nyena kere telna me buna tunga boyagi magasoda nyena museums mamwe buna ya unika afno tomo inono buna ngara kinoni so ni sabara romo ebeka deurus bereka rese papla lo document okolo le bale constitution constitution lo pelo buna ngara ni kingaren asikonyarika kinomo akuto atemari Iteso esishato Jason to ni sapa yule langiri noi konye akoto sona dumna twan ka dumta twan le jaske ta ole minna akronke inono merebe sishate twana kituponi nisikanuka akisishakene kerika afrogela jatatare koma nisike mina kron kinyana nuke inono ema munguna mina tangene jitoma balongi teonga lomto Kenya abuno ne kanu kinyana ke inono amino akron ke inono so karero sika anyute aletwane bekna yare akitolote kicha kron ka moro no akitolote attacker ke ayangara kita attacker kingaren
okay alama noi alos beroni to magwelnar do kwentenga nyakuni engineer kede jakad mozo chole sote kwentoni Jackson Tomon Lua Tibong buna na ngari line tenge no ket line nane ko stunga inera kro ido achamuto mobonebe nweja sotunga era undos nupe gogong nupe pota ngarakin ido kapo onda mami jen kere ipoto tomotunga.
This is Voice of Teso 88.4, the people's choice.
Yo gajo bera bongo no kafio. Ara da ngopo.
Ijoba pia na ijara.
Mole ajo. Joko e bada undo bere loko down. Malate de kebe bongo ni kule peka ijara ka sek. Itu do bere je pole ngeta na inoni sabiti ne roke corona.
Ada une kafio. Ibana da pukor. Idwe da bongo sio semero. Konye. Era on bere kwa na bia. Itu tekere je bero ke corona jai. Ido ko onye ka kwa ni nyutarione. Apata na reka munabekana. Utukui. Era kwa na ngitu kana na chio kite boniki.
Utado bere ko jai puchu. Yang ijare ya longongo.
Limuneta tai. Konye. Boy kerekete corona. Era kerekete ona choikina.
Siri tapalwa yuara koni. Karai dai bongore tai subisa kwa pese. Kitunta yuara tai jara koni. Kodum kairika kina ikisho na ikato. Inyiko kai sacha na inyuta taritunga. Olana kina ijayo tunga. Kana pita mas kone jok kotunga. Erai na isiraret na intu jedong telo angaleo. Kide kaga ngatina ko USAID.
It's amazing how delicious tip-top bread tastes.
Tip-top bread. I did it again.
Tip-top bread is the oldest brand in Ugandan market, established in 1956 with a range of products including different flavors of loaf, buns, mandazis, and much more. Tip-top is certified by UNBS and comes in different colors like white bread, premium bread, brown, red, soft cake, and salt bread for those who don't take sugar. Find us at our main bakery in Jinja or our branch here in Soroti, located in Oderai, opposite Goshen Primary School, or call 0759 722 126. Tip-top bread.
You can bet and get paid using AbaBet with any phone, however small it is. No need for internet. All you have to do is dial *185*60# on Airtel to get the AbaBet menu that you can use to register yourself on AbaBet. Place bets, deposit into your AbaBet account using Airtel Money. Withdraw your winnings to Airtel Money at any time, day or night, or so much more. With the AbaBet menu, *185*60#, you have access to unlimited games and betting options, all free of charge on your small phone. If you want to use internet, visit www.ababet.ug on your smartphone and enjoy the best betting experience. Always dial *185*60# on Airtel to bet with AbaBet, and you will not regret. Any phone works.
Jode customer. I will not be lost job.
Mambo denga touch it.
Mangi pera nyunu ta e ponengon. Koto beronga e attacking bereji modio bore. Aso.
Alama noi. Are ko ja yata kina chiaba. Mama ngoda giri. Ngine tungonan. Perola to sama no yata kina. Ido kesi dumuni jo ara to sama jo MTN momu. Kanuka ngulisiri gine lukumitelo etata jo kanale moni kapun. Idumuni jo senchu points akwatata kesakani. Odumulo ipoke da MTN momu. Era na aina kina na kagwelana.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Mitutubitai, kesa tupakentai. Ochotelo abaliga, ochamisimu boni luona baloka MTN, enotuni dopete yare, enote note. MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited, Money Central Bank of Uganda.
Yes, hebo ate kiri kwangen. Ngesida iro koroni jani kero ko program de Iteso gang. Adakana kaisare keda endop anwalo marisawan tomon. Lua Tibong, tomonado pingise nanga kinoko program, je kati munele lole jaitomo o program la Iteso gang, no angaroni teno sana ngundo, achamute mbonbe lo epu poking anginako pokwana, you should be comprehending Nwejas comprehending nuko pokwana ada utu alomonto mokwam tete natinga ikini je simu uperote jayauno au misho konwi becho kina ne perota ngara kina tekerna Iteso. Iteso lu inero nilu inera ikwana paka Israel. Ido achamuto mabonbe kede network lokwana losona soma unukwape ateker, the one that has been in existence, and now the one that we are trying to develop. The network should be improving day and night to ensure that the ateker will be taken to another level. Ngesi jara mo kedeja kaitetiang Peter Odir balabonebe otoma aswam keda Iteso Cultural Union Deputy Prime Minister. Thank you. And eja kaitadungo Fred Teso Kenya Teso Cultural Union, and then Engineer Julius Epiat basi kwa na kwinge sala joto South Sudan belo Piat lo Piat ido dawgesa domune ke citizenship la laija kwa puna South Sudan ke polo bonbe lai kwa na lolo South Sudan ido gali ngesa ireki nebe bia isoma tariboro to matekere Iteso le jasi to South Sudan kile kwile jasi to ngala kimakana Ethiopia. Yalamanoi Kedejakait Moses Ocholeane. Ido, let me bring you on board, Ejakait engineer. A quick one just. Now, as we are looking for a way forward, Nukwanelo start packing ane jai ateke integration of the young people.
Yalamanoi. Ayango kapana downtown alimu na itu monikini be. Me, I always say I'm a man of action. Einer kedenyo keda swam. In fact, since I met a number of members of parliament, Law Uganda, there is even none, not even one of them has given a negative response. All of them are yearning to see, when are we doing what you are proposing? So I told them, I am already doing. So I live by example.
Okay.
So, now, so the other day when I was still delaying, I borrowed Papa because there was some site I have in running in Mukono. Immediately, Honorable Okupa asking me, which names are on your mobile phone? I told him, Julius Epia, keep quiet. I want you now, right now, in Soroti today. Immediately, I have not asked, he puts the money there. So, honestly, with that kind of heart that Okupa is trying to show, the vice president, those two people, and Okiror here in Katakwi, they are really showing a heart of commitment of moving ahead. On the alostai, Nienera Ngateso, Chepa Gamati, Mammy, Yetes Loma Butor, Oisawele Somero.
Cheleno Kislo Mot Quangen.
Konyebuna Janabe, Ites, show me to Skatering, Shomete, Konyebodo, a Jesunino, Adokata na Shomani, cow. So this is one of the touching issues that I want to come out with the formula be. Ikwa kini boni ai ilo singar. Na recall ut chamunte polo uni kolengo. Obote put a lot emphasis on educating yo Iteso. Kwenye lolo ni nera ronina. There are very few of Ogwangs who are already in existence. Dobo kwenye tikari kanyo ngaren. Professor Gwang, I bodo idumunu dumakini boni chebo bai. Nukecha papa maso abidu makini boboni kesai. Ima mona lomu nike the formula that is going to make the education system firm in Iteso, in generally in Atekere community. So I'm coming out with the formula. Kapadanga limun bonbe. Isana kerekati bian. I have a lot of business cards that fell in my pockets and everywhere and all day the night going through them. And the little time I spoke there, people saw in something. So kain nachan kedi kain nachan atomonak. Akotanga limo ine sibeunbe adoludone sawa aibu makini ne pepe karauti borido perikeda with our elders. One thing, let us give respect to elders. Where an elder is, he either ngise uruntu jo mami uruntu jo ajax veroni ayunguni jai what we call an elder. And this is one of the things that the cultural management is lacking from us. We don't respect them. Idumunja bi soma kirono ino nane uta joda soma kirono ino no Buganda ni aneja setunga. Like yesterday there was one episode I saw him putting on a kanzo. A kanzo for what again? Yesterday, Napitone inono loko, and Apijebo by council. In fact, that man felt ashamed because he was the only one. So, Munukesi Borluad, a vision le Jayangobe. Akote kwa pane by next week, I really wish to have already an office, an operational office in Soroti City. Believe me or not, Mame Mugana Lelo Sebunara I Topolikin on our own city, which has been granted for us as a Tekere community. We have had the first city of our own. So, I have to say, Museveni Alamaber, Mam, don't treat it as a politics. Konya Balaberangobe, call a spade a spade. Museveni, there is where it deserves a credit on us. Particularly in this term here, Idumunio almost in the cabinet, on Iteso, Ngesinyama, the lion's share. So many different departments, Iteso are heading. So, Elipitongo, Iteso la dafa dumun, adloloni jako itingin, o mesa. Etoso matabera rengin, a kuruni nyamatangun, a kuroki ni lucheda, o mami bala bonibe, ebe ngola FDC, ngola DP. It is going to be bad. Adumunibe, you a seuni on la jauto cabinet. You only young enough for your own family and your relatives. Luche oma mikwai kintai edumunete otoma. So let us be used and advised. Look at an example. In the opposition, we are very blessed. The president is from Iteso. Let us utilize the little resources that are within that office also for us to achieve. While those who are in the system in the NRM, we all rally behind and go and receive what is there from the president. So I wish now, wanting our own leaders who Lord Tesobe, a bumakinu saraute porte dopet, teteremamu not an MP of Teso goes to the president asking things on individual merit. No. Ask it as a Iteso, as a community lo Iteso, a bumakanabe, a races members of parliament. This is the umbrella which you are carrying be. Atekere community, your excellency, bunti solo lone, ilipidisa akose dekano Teso, ngisinata. Daketesi as a team of Teso with the politicians. Let a politician play his role as a politician. Let an elder play his role as an elder. Let the youth play his role as a youth. Combinedly together, yakteja kanina. Ibo koroli teja kanina mosikan. Konye bo korilo ejake la keswam, but still under the umbrella of Akan. Idumunje bo korilo eraya no still under umbrella of Akan. So at the end of the day, all the 5 fingers that are in the hand, Kibu akijo nenipe kwa na inangete tungana na kwa kene I saw mani boli ni Paul.
Yeah ma. Yalmanoi kulobere wangu na ituroto mosokoni ya bongune nga kuna ya Moses, I would want you to run through this. Now, temajo cultural institutions law and then the work plan. You talked about the work plan. I would interest you myself to know from you how a cultural institution should have a short-term plan, a mid-term plan, and a long-term plan as a work plan for an institution, and including Eponela Ajatra Krono Aidabia ni papa Ajena ngoni kere ijeni ebe they were divided minds. Ngesinane ngisore ngobonebe itunga berelo sama unete the concept. Did we structure in that thing? Is there any clause in that constitution that talks about the barrier of a cultural leader? Because apaki elo mtakiro ngunu 2 weeks of mourning, but it was also 2 weeks of divided minds and opinion. Naraja sichelo basbe no, it should have been now a time for us to know. Ebe eja situngale pote ngarnang nada. Let this one be like a boy sin na ipejono kinete e latoko. Ebe papalo sodita morkikini atekeri ngesi law. And that is where people have a problem. Kedepone how we've been running and what is running and how Ngaren would be even, because some of the things are not talked about. Yes, we shall be running through this short commercial break, and then Moses, now you will respond to that. Tangar Tedoni Simun, Otomo Santo Munado Lu Atibong, Toto Bereto Mosokoni, Loko Intonabong.
This is Voice of Teso, 88.4, the people's choice. Supreme flour comes in both wheat and maize. Supreme flour is very nutritious, tasty and healthy because it is fortified with 9 vitamins and minerals. Supreme flour stretches easily and uses less oil, so you end up baking more in less time. Find Supreme flour in all supermarkets and shops around the country. Supreme flour is manufactured by Mandela Millers at Busega Roundabout, Masaka Road, a product of Mandela Group.
My name is Ochaya. A low power used to be a problem in my house. Hey, Madam would be working and suddenly the light goes off.
Daddy, I've been telling you about solar energy. You don't have to worry about load shedding, and you'll save money in the long run.
Hello, that day I decided to listen to this young man. I installed solar panels to provide power. I also connected it to the outdoor lights to keep the thieves away. Even though the solar system was expensive to buy, I am now saving money and I will continue to. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development with support from GIZ through the promotion of renewable energy and energy efficiency program.
Jode customer, I would not be lost job.
Mamma denga touch it.
Mamdi pera nyuna ta e ponengon. Koto beronga e attacking bereji modio bore. Aso.
Alama noi. Are korja ya attacking na chiaba. Mama ngoda giri. Ngene tongonan perola to sama no ya attacking ido kesi dumuni jo ara to sama jo MTN momu. Kanuka nguli sirigine lukumite lo tatacho jo kanale moni kapun I dumuni jo senchu points akwatata kesakani. Odumulo ipokeda MTN momu. Era na aina kinere na kagwalana.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Mitutu bitai, kesa tupake nitai. Ochotelo abaliga, ochamisimu boni luona baloka MTN, enote dopete yare, enote. MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited, yes money Central Bank of Uganda.
Ebo kwangen, ngesi kona kuranga yao ni Jaka Mozo. Actually, we have 8 minutes to the top of the hour. You talked about work plan. Now, can you structure your work plan that you talked about as a way forward now? That as a cultural institution, how do we get into the short term and mid-term and long term, and also providing and giving provisions for some of these things that people are bickering about? We saw the divided minds, a cultural leader. Let me even not talk about the one that has passed on, because it's going to happen. This is nature.
Ibo repolo atukoto nichu is never allowed to rely on Yubo's figures. If figures ilo apugan, ide kamera rako de number lo subject sketch. Alright, just South Sudan, they should find their own database. Alright, just Uganda, they should know the exact number lo atekera na Iteso. That is how you generate a work plan. A ye debate birayo di miloni ni unikat to bet. Konye berbobo itunga elo pekek. Bas be mamo ni miloni ni uni ayot to bet. Boss report is a political report. Mamjo, you cannot really accept be birayo nenyo na mbangoni. Etuko kidogo ni kera Iteso ipo ndolo maybe 7 million. Ari kidi okoni noi. Then you generate your work plan based on the population you represent. Nabobo elangiri noi. A work plan ila omiti ngona hati ya patana. Nesa tukoto our mom. The first thing adumunere. Adumunyo ere. Kasi poki de ya piesi le rai nyo ya piesi. Kaya uno aina peta. Duelo sete gangaki nyo di tonga. In about mid-term is the economic plan. Inyalo skilete na nejatari etesot anunesi apedor emedaun atukota na ichu. So the mid-term plan is to generate income. Ai moe ponele ganga intu ngangunu okwapu, lu koriete, lu sikete, lu pisete, lu swamaete tatai. You see, in it about elders, Eriko President Museveni seuna itunga this region. He wore la poloko as a group. Also the boikini kwapele kitoi. Also the reke irara kitora. Also the ener kaitunga ibore polo. O nine Iteso mamnga nyune woro noro ibolo je prime minister na ruoro to request ese unulo itunga otupite taswam ke at the personal level konye mama ese uno kapa atekeri bebala atekeri be bose uno chole mam ikana chana lelo mtoso Kenya ibore gogo ngoto politics lo kija a rallying point. The Kikuyu have their rallying point, the Kalenjin, the Kamba, or also even in regions, Western Kenya, you can even go to, sub-regions, the mountain region, the central region, all that, atekere aisoma kirongun, o so them down. Being I berai, a point to walk, the rallying point, the peloroni, negotiate. Politics au paskula tukot na arai emena kwap aina ni ketunga kirianu mami tunga unepelo rete gaga tukoto na ichu long term neso na acha mlukapate kena Iteso alema differences chut na wasia but tukot olto ngareni beto need to keep fighting ara da Buganda idumunjo bibaja idaudi ichua baja ibe ngai Buganda da era sakitara sakini Ajay Buganda that to suffer from external aggression. The Arab traders, the explorers, the missionaries, kere inja the Buganda kingdom. But Iborobu oina katukotongini agogongor Buganda was to outgrow egoism, hate, division. So ariperon kapa tukot na ilosi aseunbe our immediate work plan is to renovate Emorimor law. Ara adukunu a palace loti asoto na dumune database aloma rete kwa noni economic plan le pedore delegation to meet the president biyala masoja ina ni so vice president ina ni so Anita Mong ina ni so JJ ina ni so captain Mukola Sek konyedo kwa na Polon bori lipiti so ikaditosi factories teso ikaditosi la Polon ikikoto sa ajunbe aibigwa ni factory la kajo dora ili teso aibo kwa ligwa kile kwa ne factory le muchuga ekoko ikaproto ma edit ilipitso kapa tukoto na ichu all lemna isa pa kosi lo private sector eja kaito chichi re minister ichu eja kaito na pito is a very experienced man in management and others e pelorite eso to run ejasi Buganda ko the businesses managed by Buganda ejasi busoga with the ichumana leka you share CDs ejasi. So the biggest plan le kota tukoto na ichu aswam bia bepero requesti akutu ni tonga ke chibora konye ina rata luka pugan bebapugan kwana ationis kosi na mamtu ni chamtoto na konkiro ina bojo kuiberi individually ina kijo kwese contribution do bodo kwani inyo ibore edile marosawo so that when you say to contribute money to support Emorimor there must be continuous activities, economic activities that can transform the region. Region lo mamtunga e batoto mama yongitai. Ere lo mamtunga e batoto mama yongitai. So we need to understand when inyo ibore arera itacha tukiteso. You must pronounce akekwan bapugan or in so just 1 trillion each financial year a committed government can pull that money. Also do raini itunga be kwan mama spedo kwa na gola ituku ada urusalu pok ara di ngarakwap. These are the businesses, these are the enterprises. Liperorete sunyo ajaunu toma. Can go into bicycle businesses, bajads and what. So I think we need to identify the economic activity that can help the people regain the economic independency. Charles and the listeners, yes, which is okay. How shall we now compete with in the other regions economically? Sangeta kiningo ibore a right short term ere mid term mobilize itonga aredo munikapun long term let's own to court on ikere let's not promote a internal differences that have existed. Okay, let's not promote that.
Okay, as you conclude, did you see anything disgusting in terms of the burial of a cultural leader? You saw this. You followed it very well.
Now, saw it, Charles and the listeners. Yongo ibore na bungo awanyo e pui boro la lo mutos o kinga do mamara iboro lu alo mutos bite solo Kenya bite solo Ethiopia arailu palo mutos ano Uganda do mamu lo muta take care na Iteso ne da o bujo anyu na bibi kapuna la le mutapu gandi po o wailo services e bongo ritosi awai obujo anyu da bubone daire ne anyu na akwa na papa itungali pa mamete abo isine boy kilos paka Captain Mike mukula lomunu ne on sports ground alemunu icholongo 3010 tents nene gangaida tukoto bobo serere the same thing opoto bobo kwantu nganguno pedosi honorable governor Baladowa to intervene idumuni jo ejanonuku osode pegete ne dai kino papa e basi che dai kina ine e basi che dai kina horeke. It was disgusting kwenye kisilo Uganda mamjo ipedori aimene e will doko kit etwana kan mamji ipedori to challenge the will ara limungo be dai kina ngamuria mamji ipedori dai kina ngone soroti kade adu kiti ngone enjauna ngari ngai amuria. So I think by and large the function to me was colorful. I don't want us to draw negative representation of issue, negative representation of Iteso and Iteso. I want us to stick into the positive mind. Let's stick into the mindset. Ilejulaki nitunga imame ibore mamitunga duche pegasi. Konye I think the public, the Iteso and the government of Uganda on my own behalf itungala mumuriala gwekitengo yala mango we were able to send papa to ma buses no adjust ngunu kere even exams mabji dumni 100%. You'll always get maybe 87 90 something. I believe it's also a learning lesson both for government and Iteso. Beja unatio so give the business people Iteso to manage. Let's mobilize ourselves. Oja unatukoto kodi isirigin you cannot determine inyamatale nyami epejon arebu epejon kodi kenyamata doje ipo inana baja kora ni kereda. So what happened was a chanatu kotu ana mametoni kodi kapun lipedoroni to say like 1 billion amameti kapun. So government obudo kana mom but let me get my service provider konyeti atukoto ne sabara ngo be atukoto must own. Each must struggle and own, even a bank must own their own circle, must have their own assets.
Including schools.
Including schools. Including even hospitals. Bala. A Yadekis now Obuganda. Mengo Hospital Raina Dekis. Eraino Imo.
For clarity over that. Right now, as we speak,
just a quick one.
On the issue of attacker property, South Sudan, the government of German, the Prince of Germany, has sponsored a university for Iteso community. So as we speak, the Baganda came into to our governor there, convinced him. Now the drawing is being done by the Baganda, which here I lost the architect Okiria's number, whom I only knew. So the Baganda who were nearer had to take advantage of the drawings. Yet for us, our people who were there. So generally, already some of the things he's trying to say, assets we already acquiring one.
Right. So as I conclude, Charles, Kaituma Leja Togo, Ekoto Ujatu Koto de Nasare, primary, secondary, and vocational training institute. Ne patana edo ationisa tukoto. Isemero ilu oningata tukoto. Can contribute to money and why also they work in fundraising sites in Germany, in France, and where they are agencies in World Bank. I mean cultural institutions. Konye only institutions who are organized. Le pedore jukare proposal keje to majok with a reason. Bekota tukoto kwa na pukore semero wa pesu ne po tutu aje COVID aje inyo. Atukoto also must be innovative. Ekota tukoto raina epidori to generate our actual prasano yalama.
Kwangen ibon kwa nani headline in.
It's 4 p.m.
Ajentu nesa wakalo, ngesinum dijo, MTN. Itosoma pointa na konuka MTN senchu. Osodijo, adumuna minatu nuka titai. MBs luka titai. Arai, messages luka titai. Echika star, idopet wongon dopet hash. Oseku use points. Osodi, atupaki ntubitai. Teteri dumuni, aina kinedekon, naka senchu.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Ya, note uni kanyangon yare kanyauni wongone note kanyauni keda wongon nambale simngesngon. Jai Airtel note kanyare note diopet kanyauni wongon note ya radio pet. SMS note kanyare kede kanyauni wongon kede note kanyauni iuni keda yare. Oya koningi set ara ipreja bikakin toma WhatsApp. Presha isyom anepanin. Ijetweno kwam. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Yoga.
Yoga no.
Ekiror ngai.
Jala Daniel.
Daniel ainom to jesimu.
Roti ne pene.
Aingi se taraibe janu ko jalimun.
Ma koto ngalimun. Ya nama kapete soto. Konye isiaka tao. Ano ay totolote ano ada papa Emorimor. Mama arai ay dana ay nakai joko kapa soto kapa etwele Emorimor. Ida politics isekata politics ama marito mama mejana so no ngare na dangini ele pata mampo telo marita suno na Emorimor. Yala manoi.
Yala mashoda. Hello. Hello.
Yaga.
Ngaikror.
Adipa Simon Amuria.
Adipo Simon Amuria. Bala jai.
Akodrenga salam kin polo college aso radio.
Yala manoi.
Studio. Asodengo salam kin eneri inga. Actually, I'm behind my Iteso, let me not Iteso. Konye abuninga lip ebe tuana lese kuno kapengare no lo Iteso. Tamu aina kina kejara lo Iteso. Nye ikara une tuana kekale. Kape kekale bon. Ko Iteso kape kekale. Osodi anine de Iteso nya kuno tomo pokesho esa matari muganda. Ayo ngiti. Ikatuna imeno na iyo nya ho. Uganda eyong tosi itunga eli mo kabaka ari pre kabaka ne yesango atupaki dali tajengo town in 2008 ajengo town ne o mate street ne itote Emorimor ne nikere motoka sasa kitu Emorimor that thing in general kapeteto abo ajini obe ekoto sito lakino ajedun epole ya kere kabaka osote itwatere Emor ikinde ekabaka ngoli teso generally engineer I think that engineer has a very good vision for Iteso. I think he might even to me osote vera to elite osoma kina constitution la keke le titenelo Iteso kora kina so itwala muria itwalo dialon o isiza da veritunga osote bu esa kino constitution otoro kwa pune abuli se yala mkini enga mina Iteso kia generally yala mango ida loka subanezu aluzo ta tell me na toka
Yala manoi. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Yoga.
Yoga noi.
Ekror.
Aisu Steven Ongino.
Yes, Aisu Steven Ongino. Yes.
Asiala mikile kwa program. Do
Pupsojo.
do ibor ne polo. Emor Iteso so da do petun mandre pupune tukuno ver Iteso je rekira bero na Emor na be. Oso di kwenye lo kene skule muna ra Emor kikira ni Iteso. Da kuroti male rilo kyo Iteso. Hi abari.
Okay, hello.
Yes, Yoga no jaka takem.
Yoga no ngai kror.
Kato ropo dani obalanga.
Yes, Dan.
Kotonga Salanti, Ogam to the panelist to the radio care.
Okay.
A Kotongo, getting a care, the Polepoin La Kotomali, Wakon at the point.
Asajo.
Na soditi a Kotonga people be jam to the rebellion for Ungaran Loino no Piana Mitaki. Nara in a solicitor, they never met on a plot like what I can I tell you under that leadership. In fact, I did that after weekend there. So the two, a Kotonga Lipi, the point like Munitayaka of Kenya. When the Jawan get a total payment, Yanfoko Teso, Yamambo night. That is the problem of having a weak leadership cultural institution. A cultural institution should be able to bargain with them. We're not benefiting because Pamalema Pugan engage in what is the percentage for Teso? Then two, a point the Limutayaka to Jole is an issue of at one my private will. The when I die to be buried in home. So small a broken amount or a in your people are going to look for Calicon, Yoka. Bambune totally to about around and Nara more must have a characteristic of palace. Yakona Kotumani. So the unique in more dolo. If this ledger on the telephone around 2 series heads, everything. Or Tamai, no, I knew no Kenya, Sudan. I was very with Robian. They had a very, very strong evidence of quality. And therefore, very bon was and you by the apology. I had a very lot of Toro, Medum, not found to the Sajin and the Google in a gun. Yalama.
Hello. Jesse Mangara, Priya Nomun. Hello.
Hello.
Yoga.
Christopher Loa.
Choa Christopher, yes.
Yes, actually, so can I guess so. Eraya Remuna, Tijason Kelly, Tongal, who capites. Dodoni, egularity at Tonga, Akona, Pugan, Ben, Aramat around and Aramateke. Najala no category boom. Rodo and Aram is running good.
Okay. Yalamasho. Hello. Okay. Hello.
Hello, Yoganoi.
Yoga Ekro.
In a ratio, Kedemusio, Alfred Achoa.
Alfred Balajay.
Akota Limonia, Nebe, how Monsieur Chate, do Apuda Veranga is to Holuja studio. Kachuta Telecareja Kajilos, Sudani Mul. Nara, Ariamudo Veranga Pupuna Nebe, Yado Verabon after Kernite, so Paka is the right. Los Veja Katileba Kayang at Inareni, Pakalu Sauriarina. So Elite Meja Katunga Pika Kagogo, Chukoni Keditungang, Kedalu Sofia, Kedalu Okia, Kedauna Nane, Dumuno Bupuno around at the Kirna Gogo. Kede politics, attack the politics, I am on a Bore. I agree, I know no Teso. As to no sonda, Mr. Mulu.
Right. Thank you. Ebe necha unatariboro patakatakro kero Kalebo. He says that thanks for the show. I'm proud Iteso following you live from Kumi. Condolences to all Iteso upon losing our king. May his soul continue resting in eternal peace. Okay, thank you. And Frida Acha, for her, she says, thanks for the show. I think this is a good start because I believe most of the Iteso didn't know even the concept of the whole thing. And we pray the sustainability and continuity of what has been started will continue. And that is her take. Hello. Did you share volume radio call? Hello.
Radio Moses Likanyo Kutan. Lengo sortimora sesrufiske.
Ebo.
Konyada kwana. Akotonga limungonde rong sore da to somon na restore ajala sidereni. Do kwani moreje ekotitesa kwenye no kwapiteso. Inye so ai chelo murieni ibala rangi na medani jasiki.
Iteso kutosa kufunga na nikini mutani yesa yokusikia. So kwa nene la fasi na ara tuana kwa nani niko yesa bata Emori no Emori me muta kai no kaundi ngasi. Ko na Atekere na Iteso. O continuous very Iteso kwa fulwa kwa mbele ne bakambe chwa ka kwesi likamto sa fugani. Ana katoni kwa ndo ni bango college skafle nyamatari system. Mama ngare ni kila meche. Rango ya ngoni mutane yale na umsebaka be ngoni chene kotar la kinonto na arar. Every duba you bone be. E pedera marmor la jautu lo Itesa jautu. Mama Iteso ite omo moete kapete ni rengare no nare duna something kwa la polo kera. Mama keje tsi tugalche. Akoto no pare nitakina bala nota. Eja unare remne baka gonda kana Emorimor go bechele sagweti Iteso. Isi sa una Iteso nyebi challenge ata tara tukono angoli bukara angoli temu morka etawne Iteso. Ani tena rakifu ni Iteso mutu tekene ona pesi no tunga be nyobo Iteso sesi. Esi jena be papa lo parlo ma yesu lo ikisla le baka yesilu. Itu tukete ujente Atekere nyine ja duka Atekere na chene na kifira jengo nebe ibu makini tu wangu na kepole mamona tuze lomi so yala pese kina bala bonebe emuri oliai do ne ya sare ya sanu na kepole na bera no wangu no yala kisanji be nyebe lo sinarna konya yala masali ara likanisan yala mo kerite to ladi ngasi le dinga kitosi nuche kamba mula minasi nuche konya.
Thank you. And then Joseph Elalo, for him, he said, thanks, thank you very much for the show. And then Charles Zadok, he says that thanks for the show. I'm watching you live from Kampala, Mukono. Condolence to all the family of Iteso. May God choose the right Emorimor to take over the throne. That is what he says. And then Eli Thomas, he says, I want to thank all the panelists, most especially the Honorable Chole Councillor for Abia Sub-County, for his contribution towards the topic of discussion. Thank you. And then Oloka Naboth, for him also, he said, thank you, Honorable. Okay, let's have this one. Hello.
Hello, Yoga.
Yoga.
Ekakirori among Lomuto me. Amojong among. Akotongo, I am Mishoka, Mitigakino, Nikapate na Iteso. Now, so abokini akirotona na buene ranlo la rikitener metu patin le rikitener e balane se be e bagidi ngarai kedate se bakai di ko e righti ai ner ai fupule be wanjino ni bisoma sigora job tomata ngun nes dum na jobe oni da ko pukani for the minister e dia on vice president ngunu ne somata papa na nariti heja kaitu yola bala bakirotona ere ofisi e generate kam inera tunga kede amusugu na betna da Ateso osodi dumuni jebe abu koleje tatu ko kamite ani ne be inainoni amanu ne tonele idara roni Iteso adum na kerianu neta achuma ne sukali na pota tamata be oloto idere amo aganga to feta neri tunga ikulepe kalupoko adukutoni da echuma le sukali teteroni di dumunyo afontina no kodwe apeto na idukunyo atanyanyara tekero kona la kirano onya to tubobo ni kulepe ke muasi akirongo derate.
Okay, sorry, she has hanged up that way. Nevertheless, we've got the points. Pero boya bunto mokwam osorjo ainomne konsimu teterepa na sikin bache chika disney dewna. But then Shaggy Noah ebarabe good points in the studio, and Frida Archer still continues here. She says that let the cultural institutions, responsible stakeholders be so skeptical in the leadership to take on the mantle, because I believe we have learned a lot from the death of Papa. Okay, and then Bernard Jovio is watching us live from Kampala. Thank you. Bernard Moses, I call this time we need active Emorimor, and each must be independent institution. Oloka and Naboth, I think, okay. He says that for me, on my side, Teso Cultural Institution must emphasize on the minerals per region, must be having the factory that manufactures the products in that very area, and must be managed by the locals within that community. Okay, someone is here. Hello?
Hello, Yoga Noi.
Yoga.
Meras yo kere mulu, Moses Lokati. Atufting and Ergona, Yokono, and Leonan. A chaita miso do bon. Ni borakere, it's the Kamalar Kasika Nakan Jaskira. We need him Bala Mama Tessa Pedra, Dumni Borana Joka, the leader. Konya apuving and represent a packet in a kini na yard will work the Polon Papala Lanyoni. Abu President Olimuntebe, Kotatiaka politics away, the culture. Itakan balani the president of Soda Yena Jokobe, a just Najani so, a party politics. I'm Morin Boboka the culture, as a young Tiaka. So, Chairman, I need to anybody no patake, Konye era while culture, Ebu Mina, Ibo Mine Iteso. Kati Kwane, Adesita Dolunu Soroti, a district Kwane community like Lokatine. You want me to so Balayong Capeon, I'm thinking of it. A city Egui and a crop culture. You could have put on a Conyanyo, a district that Toma, Ojaino. Duko in a rep of Emorimor, Ojai Bubuno district. It told in a mono solo shoot at doing a joke and a Ileton Kinosita so Kedika Ramoja Bagitaka, Caravera, Kradupe, Najan. Roma Menepere Alamuke report of the Esu Irasi Najan. Yoveja Reto Kinini. A Kepolove, a right quantum or more or less, and Tuburos. Adatuna tuburos, año takirano tetak. Bepone ni morki motorite so lo dedicara moja kumirani da pitunga ipe.
Okay. Yalamanoi, and when we run through some of these text messages, Rico Aaron, he says that let the Teso politicians leave being included on this election. Just I've seen there are some party politicians of Teso who are politicizing this association. Okay. And he continues saying that all this delay was shameful because of nothing had been done. The misuse of money without accountability. I think he's talking about the barrier arrangements. And then Opio Emmanuel, he says that there is need to exercise the highest level of secrecy to protect the reputation of issue. The media needs to do more of peace journalism to build Uptake, especially during the battle for succession. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Yoga. Share volume le radio con no munje simu. Yes, Yoga.
Yoga.
Akiro con.
Ika no rungo muria. Sal berengi tungal je ni panel isun agtelekar le buta la jo sudan kalo Kenya. Itodi kingo boni be aseo ba abune ni je ara aseo na momore e bunateno. Do iborene kotar de jaunu ngono. Mame kota ta agongaina akana pugana kotiboro la verere. Ejara ta monyo biana monyo ngini da. Opotite sora te excited ya areke se polonai. La je jaikine diseti burial bewa. Ibore nyine na pugane eroi kita skam ariko sagya inera ta boni bebe mame kota gongaini. Kede culture you know. Konye pote bobo. Queste delle politici trujal sa ko potaga chodunu bore ne pole kota chakara amoti boro la berere kana nara lo bore o sa sudan ata mata pechuni yoki boro tada pugana rebunida ebuna ganga koto non bon koto so boro ko gangare da kota soman e jawne to nanen no mera ba ja de jewre paul de so da ya to pugantoma dumuni mama pugani iyo ngoni
Jalamanoi, Iroko ngai kitije line nana dakando kana kaisa uninu etu paknete nge sabong na ngoto mo studio sanu ipejo ko aita mabongo no kina chie kada itacha unun views lo ya utitunga. Hello.
Hello. Ako na maisha no kina program.
Deko network am mechejo. Bala jo ngai kon kiror.
Ka kirosha.
Sama ino mtorio.
Kamsere.
Yes, Kamswahili. Yes.
Ako na maisha no kina program no. Ati kamera kamera na. Naya so mo studio kapana mo Kenya kide Sudan kide Cholo na huwe kai pole yasin kile. Yani yoni atukakin papa lokai nono oke. Konye abosanga ne to mo lokai nono kapalo shon tango ni nono. Konye no asesente mo bia asubana na kere. Mara en papa koto mankai nono. Ida bunga sesene kapa na kere papa disende pasa apoto apugani tokodo ikana raka kere ma pare pero na joko ite kai dum tore disende bano no ni asukora mo biani ke bia no ne no ajino mo bare no apo ara sa subara no simor to so ne kere eso ane koya no mo ken pero na ado ke tai tebe akeo nete soto oke nore amure da parfi ma por na kina dimda di oklosit inga sida uno apono sa boisha no apo akwa ai ma kira paki epo dikiwo se baka lo lemo baske de papa ichware ke ito dia aya na to amula sere to be kishile mi to no ijas kere papa ma por to polore ko no por to polore esa pakene de estabile na pena kere la pugani aburona ke ne apulo ke be ko noni edisende baro are edisende baro aya unu ko icholo no nyo icholo kere na todo atikio da okolo no papa ichulo kono ndo pere nero no nyong da de pura nyong na kono ai chala palo kapala wasela nyugo okoto na to flora te kere baseku to tuenelo buru ai klemo kana na kineto koyende por asake papa Emorimor ayonyo kono ngalimbo omere sekuna ikisoma pero na jokai asekuna papa ro osoro nese sandi abo yao akiro mo mai joka nera bubo apuka ro ke to mai joko noi akodo ngese kune no yeso ole mara de ngaro ku yero ku se fla ku sino de ke se jene den yepo oyo asu to de polo sa tekere etito to ko yari si pokone be o se kune to le nono ora la koro se to ada elo ngese ngasa paka to na pakene ni ora ko na kolo onye pu ikina buiki akoro ni to ite bara mere kingira ese sisha wana epolo no ida bune ya lebe ko na sala mekilo so Sudan ko na sala mekira jaka no Kenya lo Kenya ko na sala mekilo mo to lima meka panani o pera ito mo kine bodo je ko siso wase kune to menne wese kuno ari nyemeritu di koko ari nyemete mare ko nyema abiro na yo ne bakare be ya ote be mugati anaisi mwani kwa nyakibelo sasyo amudari baso netone se kuro na bo kere amet to se to ayo kunya lo to ayo mo asikuro ne to menne o to ne to le kuro se to ha ilo so na yo ngeka baka de lo so ai le mi ka pro por sa na kire ko ne kunya bu ne riki to e video bala bien papa moto chut are ne ke ta dia da kare bra mike ulima cross kama vale popo ni o mame modo to mon ti bana papa su bara gere ta kado mon ti na rakan be ni kere ya ko ko ni ke mu munga ere no na wasa za ku ti dai ko re ali moro ko ni ma e ko ra to mo no ko ta to me no e no me ko do ba ra de ni ko do ni
okay Yalamano kapodo losio kapak nara dakana kwanano jasi pote itunga lo just mo studios na inerakin. The last one here still comes from Frida. She says that all what happened yesterday at the burial for Papa all goes back to the leadership of the cultural institution, because if the institution had their arrangements for the burial as per Iteso culture, I believe everything would have been as per the Iteso culture. I believe somehow it has been a learning ground. I think with that, let's first have that as in the contribution of our listeners, the audience out there. Then after this short commercial break, we'll be discussing this.
This is Voice of Teso, 88.4, the people's choice.
There's a new look to beauty, elegance, freedom, style. Now available in the new look of the Radiant Hair Relaxer with herbal extracts and no-base formula. Designed to make your hair look straight and elegant as you look beautiful and in control. Available in all stores, outlets, and saloons. Radiant. Look good. Feel great.
Radiant is a brand of Morbid products.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
You look stranded.
Madam, you look beautiful. I hope you could be of help to me. Today's youth keep mocking us, old men, that we don't have jobs. For that reason, I'm looking for a strategic place for making chapatis and mandazi. But I don't know whether I'll get the right baking flour.
Sir, you are at the right place. The only baking flour that has made the youth to buy land, plus everything they need, is drum. You can use drum baking flour for making chapati, mandazis, daddies, and customers like the taste. You can use around 3 cartons in a day. Isn't it surprising?
Where can I get it from?
Find drum baking flour in shops across the country, and their branch here in Soroti, located in Oderai, opposite Goshen Primary School. Call 0759-722-126 for more information. Fill your days with longer lasting freshness with our all new king size Movit family soap, available in aloe vera, coconut, rose and lemon. Visit a shop or supermarket near you and choose Movit family soap. Movit, all day confidence.
Here at Ombokolo Primary School, we have adopted the use of biogas in the day-to-day running of the school. First, all the toilet, animal, agricultural and food waste is collected and combined in what we call a biodigester. It digests the waste and produces methane, the cooking gas. So the meals are prepared on time. We also use it for lighting. It helps us save on electricity. I encourage institutions and even homes to adopt to this system. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development with support from GIZ through the promotion of renewable energy and energy efficiency program.
Ikatunganan ijaji momoto e boutique le Belaranoy Jelele boutique gisara bonkene kon ejakis ne Soroti o Main Street Gweri Road take the Airtel offices ejakis kediboro kwapena rolling bags, business king bags, school bags, jeanses, skirts, shorts, jackets for cold weather ejabo keskedi vestry kilio short sleeve shirts obiajora Jelele boutique o soda dupakin ido napa kijikesiboro isalji ride boss obiajora Jelele boutique osodi abong Emorimor, ejase shorts, anui sap, keda pesur, kedi jaka kere, jeanses, school bags, eja long sleeve shirts, kedi shorts, jackets, anui terot, akopiran, nwejo kanoi, ejakis nesoroti, o Main Street, Ferry Road, eite keda Airtel offices.
Mejo kaka kwesinuta abongo kine kunyifungalo Farmers Forum Uganda Limited ode jasi senior quarters o city lo Soroti kidunya siko Baptist Church kipadi chasi kasarigo seeds kwesina lomu tukai kinyole Belarado keta itika kere idora ili tojo karita ikwape na imu mwado nyari tetede idei lodi ikilo si kanyi boni koto mwa opakete ke ogwelarete ilukumina kaisara lo kanyi boni eso ya ikilo itomo na kanyi ogwelarete ilukumina kasaka nyauni boni aturo tona kolong erai 1.25 kilogram ogwelarete ilukumina kaisanguna lo kanyi boni mudunga ikilo si kanyi ogwelarete ilukumina kaisara lo kanyi nejoka kabonuta ikwele jirana ngana makisi kwesina bebo ngite kweleta nejayo koto malangirwa neja tatari kwesi ngesi dumuna jobe kwelete kwesi mumwa isirigine lukumit mudunga isirigina kwataka nyauni aturo tona kolong lukumit keda kwata una kasakany osodi kina soya ilukumini yare inyoma nubone beti jaswa mukwesi nuta jo ai wadi kwa unu osodi ai nomara koni puto o ina kine company jo akone identity card ni totunupe irai kwa reje mweba swama ite kede tungalu adokita ita na itekoro ajejo kisio kesi bonuta shida uja iwadi kaunu kwa kwesi eja amukia ni nono o sentali ya piotorijo ai pirisari to ne kurutu da rejai eja sai na nikireta ne gela ajeri kanini asapatu araba pido yunu ne daera kwapo kai na kinja kirikilon anuja giara ai tijiba nobody swama ijo kwesi nota o kwa menambe simu enoti kanyauni wongono Itiopete yare ikanyango ni Itiopet aluja yenu ne fu Farmers Forum Uganda Limited nyesida abongo kinete god
ebo atekerdo ibudo kwa natoma atia kunetido na washa na kwa na ingeta ina dono ko program pejo kule justomo studios eneratitu ngakiro che ineraso to ma people che ineraso to my sinyiko ekinet che inerasi utuptos experience lo doubt wanyun and where we are kuna geun kede ejakaiti adungo Kenya yalama ni pero ya mike ni kwa nate gro tuptos one ngono neratitunga
yalama jakaiti Charles apupongo ne nerasitunga ko kinga kangina ache joka ache ne chorete ataker ache ne auta onyate mari bala itungaleja si lengarangito nono beito kesi akonai akipup porto kitunga ko ngakangina be bala situngai na libeina tamare amiongo alipata akujuko ngarako Iteso kere atakere kodumutu etwana nebuna goikino ni akitolo toka jokana echolo le raila kapape mormor ayangari Iteso kera atakere kingaren nebun bode apupupe poroto kitunga punga balastunga ajenune ebe ichani kitunga right nyana bo abuna tajaka ito Moses ochule kinera ebe jenio nera monyeto ni kiro etenge kiro nikafuno ko chwe nyena konyo ni bere kule peka bindo dona akuni kipone la bito na konai angara nakin jaso ni Teso jaso ni sapa idwele buna kasban kere ngara ke jas kingangina so mata so mongo poloko ata to mapugane jas ata shoko Kenya kangina jas tunga kapoka ngulu
bakai so alailo be kwade so Kenya ngina igwelete ikosi mumwa aradol tu itansi mwasa ya kangi
abuto ne pereni ba era ba kwa alimore be kemorgi kino so na temara atakera modeo Kenya kangina buna do kera ko ne governor jamode kangina temara ko ya berika fuka gwaxini mta ko ya ka fuka gwaxini meranu mod beta shaune bara banka de lokitesa kitote atoma oichune pene kabuna rangarana kini itunga ok atemar ki kopatika funolu ngarana kinisi era kisi shidwe era takiso mebele kongini ebuna ngara kino ni alo stake ngare sonye nenera ile pwaka konye karero sina kingaren kanyex nuko kaunu kamurox beremun ka gwaksa waikat karero skingaren anyu na bune to na kionali ngara kini itunga ok askonye na bodongo le pwake monyete ajenuni jena na menameto na kron ke inono nyena pugan ke mormor ke konai akonyo ya alimune be le pwaka mamke jenete mamke adumu to constitution ekotokina le jaso ofisi kote kiponele benta kitenuna pa plaingulu ana nakintu ko somatu tunge constitution ko jenutu atemare constitution isibuna ngara kinona ajenuna kiponla kilele akirokotoma oinono
okay alamanwe deputy prime minister
mata ke idwe ko duk du sakro kere proto lo bitunga le monyete le jasi le lakara ke ni cheda yala manu rasuna umshonu educate akoroga le mokini Teso tenteni be balance musukuno be Rome was not built in one day Rome upon duko to no karo kaisa kai around a city so only the yone ajelune be abuatu ko na ko ge wotoma at tionus e geru kane mame pone mame we tight mame edume loka bait so ko pe koko giuni ya atabalaba ko joja lo steka kerit so atukodo na pana elosi adumuni akrongun go pone hangolo so tuna ka papa daki no ni achepa kitawona riengoni ajenu tenteni ebetoni ari ore cheboro lukolo mama mari ore jok so rang indo bali bona musugune be a learning process so ni kere lo so na to sumare musono adumunebe atukoto nyokolo nga arich nyimbo arono kata basi egwaki soto malai kobe bala ya khaire o chorebe ibori ne pol ni geono risbani planning 1 2 3 esa dumuni ai wagara gogo adukudere are mam yere twan eresi to de beraye twan jasio kere le perorio aspore te perorio ya topolonyo atekere kon esa bala ke morikiros katubu ko poko lo bala papa shop bian oni kere bian o momu ya twana la yenga kere are bian no mute bisho ba ko podi chabos kere wa du nitu na lukumite ti bian no du muta chapaka billions arabe trillion da kono ma de papa nara jate kere na pa Iteso chulo ina kira sabara mo be kanga se rot kanga ta kero kanga tukot ne pero nga kilo ne rot lo kere an
yala manoi yes engineer
ya hata kere ala manoi mulo apana talking pupo kintosi ikatunga itimeta akate sa chepa kibucha na sida itemo ni yo kingangina konye bon bikoni ya ipupi jo ara kona ngo pona lo se ngo no idumunyo kona ngaje pini pu
tukidoja
I took it at times you find me slip off the tongue dumunyo be monara dumuna tije ngo nata the end I will speak to you in Iteso atoro dumunyo be again you will get confused there so ikota kirongune alama ngo ikai na chelu hobo no munate simu nukeche Daniel Soroti mutangesa alama no yaswamasi amuria balanga so Katlo balanga he also really observed what was taking place automobile and this I thought be yango bonabu auta airere kidinyo atunes na bua jaibian konye kwabo atakerekere abu wanya ngwalis na bui kwa gai atunes na biano do ikoni respectively obe iutona nyama kininga papa yibo ebwenge sisia untre esiti do bara apoto doni nyese freedom be kera yonge se yauntu lo raituko a chicha raituka ngano reka no akoka orando jola perebo bongo konibuni aitemo iteme pushitida kai po nyamata kai koroda ikono no le penino kwa ikatunga ija so ekotokena kere ka bonbe if the government is giving a hand fine give a hand but let the beneficiaries of that hand be the real owners of the family. So that thing I try to raise it up when we were in a hotel or Bugolobi in the meeting. I told my people, we talk about the Dumunika when the Japan we took on, which we all contributed. But I told the first people who should be the beneficiaries, a caterer, we should come from Iteso. All the activities should come from where? From Iteso. Because I have a belief be ijasi keteras lupe jasi Iteso. Hara jama me jasi Iteso konye jasi Kampala orasinyo Iteso. So the committee should have looked at be nubanga ibere the first beneficiaries. Because Iteso ruko panilo a catering Muteso ijike kokuda ne beta losto somero. Eringa kwa pani to a loss I'm more pol na dumu school fees. Konye bianane timambia ngisi de dumu dio difference lo ikwa kile yangari ke ko somero achepa ke yango dalo polity yare joda ngin elo tiko ngino somero will become a public benefit to us. So there are things that we need to be very much considerate on these issues. So according to anunai alama ne polo noi ulot bere ne jai our vice president, if we all based on what and we accept what really go by what the vice president's speech was be a lot of promote in terms of ala papa. Let us not look at the qualifications of people. It will look at be I am better, I'm a professor, I'm ABCD. Kai Nyenbe is a professor, is dealing with a common man who has not even gone to school. So relating the lifestyle of an illiterate or somebody drop out with the professor's lifestyle, it will become very difficult, honestly. So let's look at it. Let us not look at the academic documents, but let us look at the performance, cultural love. It's like when you have done a course, if you are meant to be a doctor, and then at the end of the day, you become an engineer, you are not going to do the civil engineering work, yet in actual says a doctor. So, ekotokini borungulbe, itete berotome, itete lutai burokini papa. Is he a committed person? Has he been doing these things? Maybe I have been brought from, I've been living in London because I have my money, and then let us put you inside there. No, something in my being is something that has gone into my ears. I don't hide of some things when I see something going to spark out. I am told there is a small team, which I cannot specify their names here. Are declaring themselves to be the person who will be buroxing Papa Emorimor. Please, kindly, nye deko jauno or town tungangu lewu umtusa kotsa swamo that thing personally. Please, a constitution which was made by the council. So ikatunga e buapata very bori in balek a constitution be akaulo no there is an interim person who comes in for 6 months. Then after 6 months, that person now, that committee prepares for the election of the office bearer. So, in years, better to lecture by the constitution, that ample time for us. It would on a month. Don't again we crony guru nenu. Mame chai. So Joe politician ngon keda nachekalo mame tawe pera ni ya tekere ngon. Liko tai so ma nu election moi. Please, for us we shall incite the community and we really handle you out. Mamusibu na chama crony election. Atopata ni borni e baleke sili. Ido muso yolo moi utabe utaja aseu na koni kwani be jongi si burokini papa. Atakere. Erumai noskedi jakolu. Amsibu na chamu kroni election na banga anu tukatanga. So mameno no puna buno ngainere iboni be adana tanga limu ni anebe. I have relinquished whatever I was doing. Ebe I lost a jauni soroti because now my movement to soroti to Sudan, it is going to be very easy by air, by road. Now I'm trying to nyebera limu ono autonga swamkato.
Mama che, asuja a quick one just.
Yes. We are trying to set up a food processing plant in Iteso, so that now the product yenjo laije Ethiopia keda South Sudan emameti nyamat. But now we need, and it is not accessible. But using the umbrella of the cultural leadership that we are owning, security is provided for us. Etiailo inyamato kwekaje ikiara noi. Idoli jota purujikere one trailer by around midday it is over. But now some brother of mine near Tajibe, let us have even some warehouses and what have you. So these are some of the ideologies that we want actually to have. What the food which we have in abundance hotels e bosete nyameti miria ba boliare konyo chana site so ato just atake ne mame tatariki di nyamat. Let's get organized. And then I want my people, the elders, you know me, I grew up in a young Ngareno. Let the people who are in the office not look at our coming, or some of us coming into the institution to give ideas that are going to make a benefit of the entire Ategere community as a burden. Me, I intend to have my own office outside, doing things that are going to help Atekere community in alliance with the management of Ichu. Because I am part of the management of Ichu from the other side. And I want to make sure that this thing is put in right, that the other country is delegated here, and the issue, whenever there is a conference meeting, we all participate together. So, we are going to create job creation. Look at an example. If we had sections looking at the education sector, Then we have agricultural sector. We have different sectors, and then all these institutions managed under one umbrella. An example, when I was in Capoeira, when I went there, by the time I arrived there, they thought I am Emorimor. Who had gone there? Konya lole ngana dumuntu onkecho lokeru se dumalo apolo ko ngono ejang ina ida ruse adumunu be bunti la apolo adumunu bonu be la apolo le buniti arrive bo la apolo lo didi mamera la apolo no la apolo. So at the end of the day adumuntu ngoko okay lokerus is I think he's the Secretary General for IGAD. He has a lot of programs for us of like why he touched government. NGOs aid us, but now how do they aid us when we are not organized? So these are the things that we want us to be organized and begin lobbying for how to help our community. Tekere, asalata ayonganara. I am telling you, the public be also having an office in Soroti here. I want to make sure that there is a cordial relationship between the politicians and the cultural institution.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very
Yala
much.
mano yes mos adau na pa
Na
ko
so di
kasoja.
takutongo eshana mkin peyo ko Lolo, Deputy Prime Minister Frederick, Engineer anatekena Paul. De listen pupete kotesu aja unu toma akilo ni chu students ka oni lisoma ka mutoki radio. Let's not incite take litungatiaka mamngalo si to take side kapochole but I have also my right kapete soto give my contribution eganga tukoto to it tungale pupete aboiso anuma merasi no teso ekoteso to come on board and promote atukoto. Charles and the listeners ekoto atukoto round exclusive ache kiro do round inclusive no politics mame koto lokini toma nare political parties at yakata kwap but a platform ne janus Iteso kere we give them honor and blessing na so diteja kaite engineer nerejo no adomono silos luganto Iteso ayutingo binero ni ko the other organizations kati FAO illuminated to donate to our houses. Now the crisis in South Sudan a global crisis in Yamata. So anybody who will come with an intervention of addressing a chronic thing, both commercial or charity, will benefit. No ida dokere na Paul. Hibora koto bongoda lepi. Siriche tungalo bebera ila maikino satukoto koni osota ai ngata tekere akoto ngalimu le pointing on dai geri mor bebe sangari nyamata Sudan eje engineer itunga iwadika unos it. I think that has also jeopardize the progress of Ichu, the development of Ichu. Poor clear methods of communication. You now have good intentions. I would also assure you to go slow with those good intentions so that you're able to identify structures. Structures jadolere M1 baibe korere muogo baibe korere mudonga ibore na ayeli mutoro ngono ikari karo ngono kanyapo ubwatu ko na ichuodo ojiela tiono over programs bala loda yonge coordinating ailo and oboyao a big misunderstanding oboyina ke public around confuse pinga iboro kwa lo samuno kina kekero dena koto bongo Deputy Prime Minister itungalu yengunete office bearers who retire. You need to tell the public be ochole yengu mambi so mai kone so laburo kinesi inesa akero. You have parallel cabinets, others are self-appointed, and you have also failed to take disciplinary action. Nejitungalu le subnet be yongare ayitinu they create rift osodi mamu jamina tukot nare mamu mina wona bolo chole. That is also wrong. I have not issue for an example mamu jo mina Frederick dodo kwani jo to carry that personal difference with Frederick anga the judge issue. Then you report people ne jemoro bole beta seun. It used to be a delegation as here ne jai papa Emorimor bo we kono be koto sa alema we cannot wash our dirty lily in public. Akironu the secrecy la tukot, we must humble ourselves asot on a bone to address issues internally, deal with ideas that can build. We may disagree ideologically, but let's not fight physically. Let's not use character assassination. One of the prominent persons in Ichube is a criminal, is a smuggler. Nobody is righteous. Former Christian, nobody is righteous. Ara ina itungala kosi bibirori mala ya taparaza na Yesu Kristo. Bura subaningi tikwesibe. Sirasi ayumi kadonto. Send a manifesto to the delegates, convince the Uptake, convince the Iteso, la subani se uningare noko. If we allow selfishness, anijaba makyo da nwe beite ibo yore, edulo inosa kiro hama kyo nebe aida kitatai. I am sorry to say this. Lo beite aida kanyo itatai. Edulo inosi to champion a campaign, making phone calls, ngai, it's really horrible. So araimame sulu atotoni polo ipedote to desist from a noka kime chukebele nara ilemne ni nyami ajo ibomuni ja inyama. It is your right kapate soto imameni le marijo aneni ochama kiberijo the I would say the smooth transition ochama kinai papa Emorimor yenye nara imonyi dojo be ajoko la ronolo la subani ekori ngarenoko ana aidachenere neji polo kolu e polo deputy prime minister e koteso to watch akusai two case aidacha nyo enen ache Chris wa manusi monyere jo. So I think atukot elipi bering a bishop, both bishops, my lord bishop ejaketozea and the lord bishop Chiro early back in the cabinet of IQ, and there should be a special day na ilipa ina jokini no ayaute corruption, ayaute satiatiaka, ayaute su amam sayonganara nara kwa this young man has come with an idea. Frederick Jaine, these people operator hotel nyamete mametire they have come to support to court. Then you insult them. Bejoda lo bongo Kenya, bejoda lo bongo Sudan. Engora nyamoreka, so what? So I think we need to outgrow egoism. Nintone balabenyo. Let the leaders be respected, from vice president, from speaker, foreign affairs, also the national vice chairman, Muriata, the president of the FDC, Itunga, and as the elected leaders. And also want to appeal so politicians not to be drawn into the fight of issue, rather than to be part of the resolution and resolve the problem. The key players, one of them is the media. And a kotochuti chu to come out between the rabani law, ichunesi law. So that ye will speak a kekiro KPC. But you have to document the statement that you always issue.
Okay.
So you have to take care otukotikapun anu Emorimor lebuni. Let's identify more land in the city. Arera mokaro, arera gora, arera after all. Mamu e policy e janu kidding neto. So yongo 100% alosengo to support this cause. Ndoma mwalosa limu balosingo be rabano ano. Nara already camps have been drawn in issue. Lines have been drawn. Konye ilipi se mama tukotone mamejie. But the majority takes it all. So MNR group le kota limori. Itunga uli no be group jera balinga. Sakoto ngo lipangeta kinine la subani oina koni ashalutuke iteoni oduko